can hear it. I'm telling you, I can.
What's wrong?
It's hurting them.
What the fuck is going on? Hey, Sarah, talk to me.
The man in yellow, quite a calm and violent fellow. What's with the stick, the dress, and the case? Do any of those things get you out of this place? From vile nightmares, mysteries to solve. Who is the man plaguing this town? Dead friends, loved ones, strange voices on the phone. A radio tower made from hope. A storm came in and crashed it down. And crashed it down. The man in yellow, what a strange fellow. Shifting, haunting, is he deal making? Jim didn't listen, now his throat is missing. Why you digging that hole?
No! Got it! No! Fucking get it now!
From vile nightmares, mysteries to solve. Who is the man plaguing this town? Dead friends, loved ones, strange voices on the phone. A radio tower made from hope. A storm came in and crashed it down. Crashed it down. Clara is us.
So hard.
What is up, everyone? Welcome. We are back. It is Tuesday night, I believe, after a wild weekend of fun and friends and Fromily. I don't know where we are. I feel like we have hopped through the faraway tree and we are somewhere along a mystery, a story, a game. We're not quite sure, but wherever we are here in it together. And joining us tonight, we have an awesome panel. Of course, we have Miss Dana and James hanging out with us, my awesome besties and co-hosty Ostius. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're so excited.
Yep,
Thank you
doing
tonight,
great.
James. Excited. Super.
Yeah. We got Doug here, so I mean,
I know.
I know, right?
Forget about
we
us.
had this
Forget we don't
specialist
matter.
of all special guests, Mr.
hell
Doug.
yeah.
And I know after that performance, sir, I'm sure lots of folks have many things to say about just all the bits, right? I mean, we got enough bits for a Fever After Dark. I'm excited.
My Tinder account is blowing up big time.
I can imagine. We was again, like we were saying before we started, me and Dana, we saw that scene. We was like, oh, Mr. Doug,
We were clutching our
hello.
pearls, Mr.
Right.
Doug. We was like, Mr. Doug. We were like, oh, what's going on?
That was awesome. But and just all around performance that you gave, talking to Jim and Julie, and we're gonna dive into those bits real good tonight. But you did so good in the transition. I wanted, we're gonna dive into all that, and particularly just asking you some things about kind of behind the scenes of that, like how they, or if you know some of the things about that, but and how they kind of. Or like, I know you were telling us a little bit about what you had to wear during that and things of that nature. Because I'm kind of curious as we get to see the monsters and some of the different kind of effects that they use, knowing that the teeth, right? Like, I know you've talked about that before. A lot of people wonder if they were prosthetics, and you're like, no, it's makeup and things. And that's so awesome. Like how much of this might actually be less CGI or less crazy effects. Maybe they're using maybe a lot more. I can't use words right now, but
prosthetics.
Yeah, because we talked about that before, Dana. We do kind of like movies, TV shows where it's not overdone with the CGI and they're using these practical effects and things that really do stand out. So I cannot wait.
And my understanding of it is that whenever possible, that's their preference. For example, the scene with Jim at the end of season 3, they obviously added some CGI to enhance that, but he was wearing a prosthetic piece that I literally had to tear off his neck, and there was some blood and guts going on there. They just kind of added a little more to it, but they like to do as much of that stuff as possible old school, which I think is awesome.
Oh,
yeah,
even
absolutely.
I saw a Julia Doyle interview where she said she was like a contortionist. So that weird way she was bending her arms, she really did that. When I first watched, I thought that might be CGI.
It's funny you should mention that, because before we shot that episode, I got an email a few weeks before doing it from production that said, "Are you by any chance a secret contortionist?" Write them back and say, sorry to disappoint you, but no. Although,
it's not one of my qualifications.
No, but I had to do a fair amount of contorting. I mean, a lot of what I'm doing there physically, I mean, I'm actually doing all that stuff. The bones popping out of me and stuff, of course, that wasn't for real, although it kind of felt like maybe that was happening. But yeah, all the physical stuff, that was like, it was intense shooting that.
Yeah, and it was great. Like the whole episode, I know I've said it and I will say it a million times. This episode really was sort of breath for breath, beat to beat, moment to moment. Whether it was just showing us all these crazy things, the dialogue that was given to us from several of the different characters, you, Sophia, Boyd. I mean, there's so much compacted that they did in this one episode. It's hard to really even just describe or talk about it. Because, I mean, like, we forgot so much last night and we felt like we hit on a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to dive into it because there's so much. But welcome. Also, we got Everything Broke Down. Mr. Baby Clay, how you doing? I know you excited.
What's going on? Yeah, I got some questions. I got some questions for Mr. Doug. I need some answers. Well, I know you can answer everything, but hopefully we can get some answers from about this episode, because I love this episode. I think it's just as good as the other openers for the last few seasons that we've had. So yeah, I got some questions.
Yeah, this season premiere is definitely up there with me as much as the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I enjoyed this almost as much as I enjoyed the pilot. Like, I felt rejuvenated in this episode. Like, I was just like, give me more. Give me, like, I don't even think it went by so fast.
I'm gonna move us around a little bit. I don't want to hide you with the comments.
Right, it did. It went by. I think it went by too quick.
Right. Well, and not even that. Actually, I don't know if it was even too quick. There was so much. I don't even feel like it was too quick. I just wanted more. Like, I was so, like, after I seen that ending, I was like, oh my God, we gotta wait a week. But the bits and the thing, and she said, and she told Kenny. I'm just like, and all the things that seem to be, I don't want to say confirmed in this episode, but things that we as fans or watchers, viewers have been kind of like, okay, they've kind of hinted at these threads, and we're like, oh, they said it so particular, the 4-7, and just other little bits in there that are like, okay, well, we're not just like, it's not in our heads. We're not just making these things up. Why is this number 4-7 being so prominent? So a lot of bits to get into. I'm so excited. But before we truly dive into it, I do want to say hello to everyone in the chat. We got a lot of folks hanging out with us tonight. It is popping in there. And let's see who we got with us. First and foremost, we had Miss Debbie hanging out with us. And I know you got to get up. I know it is gardening season. Look, I got to go in the morning myself. It's
for you guys.
The
for
plants.
You guys. Don't rub it in. Up your internet. It's not gardening season for me yet. Poor Scarlett. But we are saying what's up to everybody in the chat. Where'd you leave off, so I could take over? Gotta scroll up. Scarlett's faster than me. There we are. We started with Debbie. What's up, Miss Debbie? And then we have Green Spider. Hello, Mrs. Spider. We always love seeing you in the chat. I know we see Mr. Doug. You're typing away. You're typing away in there. I know I see some Doc is with us. Hi, fam. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. We had fun with you last night. We had fun with Jerry's up in the chat. You guys were so much fun on panel with us last night. We had a blast, and thank you guys again for coming and hanging out with us for the episode 1. And I know both of you guys will be back this season, so we're gonna have some fun with you guys. And then I see Mr. Anon. Ooh, I love this version of the video. I almost feel bad for Jim. Almost. Almost. I know. It definitely
Almost doesn't count.
Right? Definitely tugged on your heartstrings a little bit. Like it made me I will be honest, I was not the biggest fan of Jim. I was definitely one of those people that was like, if he dies, I'm gonna be okay. But then after it actually happened, and seeing the way it happened and just you taunting him the way you did and him wanting to just protect Julie, I was like, oh, damn it, Jim, why'd you have to make me like you now? Okay.
I was one of Jim's most ardent defenders, because I thought the thing that people are failing to take into account when they complain about his behavior is look at it from his point of view. Yeah. I mean, arriving in this town with no warning and spending the entirety of the first season just basically trying to find his feet and understand what the nature of this threat is that he and his family are under, and trying to protect them and all the rest of it, not knowing whom to trust. Put yourselves in that position and say, how would I handle that? Would I be any better at it than him? I mean, yeah, his default position was confrontation. Fair enough. But again, under the circumstances, that's kind of understandable. So I was always kind of going to bat for him, because, after the end of last season, when I got on Instagram, one of the first things that happened was I got absolutely barraged with these messages, all of which said the same thing. Why did you kill Jim? I said, because it was in the freaking script. What do you think?
Because I was paid to.
I finally, one guy asked me that question one day, and it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. So I wrote back and I said, what do you expect? The fucker owed me $50 and he wouldn't pay back.
Right? You're the last person. You're the last person anybody should owe money to. Are you back, Scarlett? Or
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm
there.
clicking.
You are. There you are.
So I think I'm back. We shall see. But welcome, Kelly. Well, why? Because the IP threw me off. Y'all know I can't read. Welcome, Kelly. Let's see. We got Green Spider. I know, right? Too many Jim bashers. I was one of them. I'm sorry. I just look.
You got me.
I can remember. Okay, if I have to explain myself, the moment I believe that I slightly got frustrated with Jim, even though I understood where he was coming from, was when they had to do the choosing ceremony. And I understand, like, okay, they kind of already made their choice, but then to have this, like, well, let me go. I'm gonna go with her. I wouldn't want my child as a mother to be in that house either. I understand she needs her independence in this place. He's worried about her going off and doing other things. But we saw what was going down in Colony House, right? I mean, she is a teenage girl. So he kind of frustrated me, even though I understood where he's coming from on a dad's side of things. I was slightly frustrated with that. And then I guess that put me in a perspective of looking through Tabitha's eyes as a mother a lot. They pulled at me as a mother a lot with some of those moments. And between Tabitha and like Jim and stuff. And I think that's where a lot of, because when we had a discussion about it last season, and it got heated in our chat, you could kind of see the divide. And it did kind of seem to be a very, like, it was trying to be like this Tabitha versus Jim, and then Jim versus Jade. And it was very interesting seeing where everybody kind of fell on that line of the spectrum. But I felt really bad for Jim at the end of the season, I think. And that is very unfortunate, because he finally, for me, came around to, like you said, he was kind of abrasive. He came around to where him and Tabitha were able to kind of work together a little bit better right there, where they were starting to really come. I mean, they were coming together, they were back and forth, but then they came together. Him and Jade were able to kind of figure things out together. And then you took him out, and I was like, And the reveal of possibly Jade and Tabitha having past relations in a previous life. Altogether, I was just like, oh my God, poor Jim. Like, it did make me feel bad for him in the end. I mean, I felt doubly bad because I didn't like him. So I just felt like a bad person. I was like, oh no.
Well, and also, let's not lose sight of the fact that both he and Tabitha only recently lost an infant child,
Right.
and I mean, that's enough to mess up anybody,
Right.
And the fact that it was having the effect that it was on their marriage is hardly surprising. That's extremely common in those situations, and you lump all that together, and then Jim, when he does start trying to get proactive and working on something, who does he get stuck with? Jade, who's constantly taking the piss out of him. I mean, it took half the season to get him to stop calling him teacup, for God's sake. Who needs that aggravation on top of everything else?
I did enjoy Jade's aggravation there. I don't know what it was.
Don't get me wrong.
Something about
from Jim's
Jade's
perspective,
character
that could not have been fun,
Mm-hmm.
And I love Julie going to bat for her dad.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, fine, then I'm going to start calling you Sparkplug.
Oh, God. So Jade had the best lines sometimes. I mean, they're all great lines, but there was something memorable always about Jade's lines, in particular when he's being snarky with other cast members and stuff.
What's that thing he says to Ethan? Like, you're one really creepy kid or something.
Mm-hmm. I love it when he tells him about the town meetings. He's talking to Ethan. He's like, yeah, once you get so many people together, it's basically like, I forget how he phrased it, but again, the way he phrased it or the way they've written his lines and phrasing is always memorable, or the scene itself is so memorable.
Well, like most brilliant people, he's just got an excellent sense of wit about him. And I think it's one of his most endearing qualities, Jade,
Oh, yeah. Let's see, we also have Doc hanging with us. And again, great time with you guys last night. I know Dana was talking about it. And we are going to have another panel Monday. And we can't wait to have some of you guys back in the very near future for some future panels. Lots and lots of fun. Let's see, we got Miss Beehive hanging out with us. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm sorry if I miss anybody. Internet and things. Oh, I see I'm with Alice. Welcome, welcome. Love seeing you. Oh, just scroll all the way down. I see. Oh, there we go. Hey, I'll show you guys is popping in there. Is it Angry Anthony? Welcome. From is a better show than all of us, indeed. I do believe sometimes it is better than all of us. It's brought us all together. There's that.
It did.
And welcome, welcome, the Thrifty Typewriter. We cannot wait to see you very, very soon on a panel. I know we are excited about that and to talk some From with you. See, Jim really shouldn't have been digging that hole. Well, I mean, to be fair, he dug a hole with his wife, in my opinion, in some regards, but then his wife decided to dig a hole. There was a lot of holes dug in From.
Indeed.
A lot of hole digging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Victor dug a whole bunch of them.
Right. What else does he got buried all over?
Apparently, you got stuff buried that's popping up. We're gonna get into it. You just say hello, everybody. I'm telling you, man, there's so many bits. What's up, Billy Power Max? Always happy to see you. Feel free to drop your link to the comic and to the video. If we have time later tonight, I will show the final video trailer for your comic book. Again, welcome, welcome. I know you said you were going to try to dive into the show, so I hope you do get a chance to. And if not, let me know. We will work it out one way or another. We love to get new folks, new eyes to the Fromily. It's always welcome. But yes, welcome everyone. See, it says when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Maybe, or if you dig down far enough and then you dig back up, right? I mean, it might be more work. I don't know. Can you dig yourself out of a hole?
But Jerry actually has a really good question. He says, what is it like to be on a show that is growing so rapidly like this one?
There's not a short way to answer that question. Because first off, I have never been connected with anything that has had the kind of international attention that this show has. So in some ways, it's been kind of overwhelming. But it's also, at the same time, I've kind of had this sense of being on the outside of it all because, you know, unlike the series regulars, I don't get anywhere near the kind of attention, the online attention, for example, that they do. And I haven't met a lot of the people yet still, you know, or the ones that I have, a lot of them I've just basically had enough time to say hello to, and that's it. So I still sort of feel in a funny kind of way that, I mean, I'm along for the ride, but I'm kind of out on the outside looking in at the same time. It's a very strange place to be.
I bet. And even Lizzie was saying last night, because we had her on our panel as well. She was saying like they were kind of keeping you separate because they want, when the time comes, the reaction to be genuine to you. Like when they're first seeing you on set. And that I was like, ooh, I get that, because you're supposed to be terrifying. So if they really meet you and realize how friggin' awesome you are and how nice you are, it's so hard to now be scared of you.
Hey, I just want to say, when all of this is over, I guarantee you, people looking back on this show, the man in yellow will be one of the things they remember more than anything else, because just what you are, or what you portrayed.
Well, and let's be fair, you know, I didn't create this guy. They did. This is John Griffin's creation, and all the other creators involved, you know. And I mean, in that sense, I sort of feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, because they handed me this really sweet gift, and it's been a joy. As far as keeping the rest of the cast separate from me, it's too late with Liz, because she and Cliff came over here for dinner like a year ago. So
oh, nice. That
Miss
is cool,
Donna.
man.
We love Miss Donna.
And even like your character and what they have created, or what they may have in mind, because we don't really know, you know, what the full complexity of this character is yet. We've kind of now starting to get a glimpse into it. And it is complex. There's something complex about, like, yes, the way the Man in Yellow speaks in your form and then Sophia, there are similarities and things. But there's almost this weird, and I know, Baby Clay, you've talked about it a little bit, this weird softness, or where he talks about kindness and the way he talked to Jim and stuff like that, that does offer this complexity. Is he just a straight up evil, you know, entity? He's always been evil, or does he have this weird compassion to him for these characters, that almost as if he set this play up, he cares about these characters almost as much as the show writers care about the literal characters themselves, you know?
Well,
right.
When
I was gonna, you go ahead, Mr. Doug, go ahead.
No, go ahead if you have a question.
You sure? Okay. Well, no, I was just going to say that I don't think the Man in Yellow's persona gives off chaotic entity, because I mean, if that was the case, he would have eliminated the Matthews family as soon as they arrived. This is the same as that spot where they got in the crash. So that's why I think he has deeper layers to him. And I mean, he could be, you know, the big bad of it all, but I don't think that he was the big bad all the time. You know, that's all I want to add to you, Scarlett. You can go ahead, Mr. Doug.
And I don't know. I honestly have no better idea where he fits in the hierarchy than any of you do. I mean, you know, you can sort of draw your own conclusions from what we've been told, and I don't have any more information about that than you guys do, really. I mean, yeah, I know about a few more things coming up in this season, but in terms of how this all fits in the big picture, I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I will say this: when I read the opening scene in episode 1, I absolutely believed that everything he says to Jim is completely sincere. I think he did genuinely like Jim, and he really was torn up about the fact that Jim wasn't going to be around to see any more of this. I think all that was absolutely on the level.
I think the same thing. I mean, because he came off, he even said this, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, does the Man in Yellow say this didn't have to happen?
That was at the end of the season 3, yes.
Right.
So he does say this. And okay, so that lets me know as the audience watching that, okay, maybe the Man in Yellow does have some type of sympathy, does show empathy to the people that he's, like you said, just said, Scarlett, maybe he has some type of weird compassion about the residents that's in the town, but I like he just doesn't give off this chaotic entity that everyone wants him to be. I wouldn't mind if he is, but I just don't see it.
And he still could be. There was just something particular about the dialogue, like we're talking about, even between the end of last season and then this episode here, and even the way Sophia later talks to, and I'm trying to remember if it was just to Kenny or to the preacher, and how you did this. You know, you took us in. You guys did this great kindness. You know, she's praying with him and all this stuff, and then she talks to the preacher and kind of does the same thing. I know you did this out of the kindness of your heart, and what a great part you played, and it's very, because again, the monsters have these, between the monsters and the man in Yellow, I'm trying to watch these similarities in dialogue, because there is this weird kindness mixed with a very strange twisted darkness. The twisted smile, even though it's smiling at you, it's not a good smile, but yet it's weird. I don't know where to put it.
there's a genuine sense of empathy coming from both of them, I think. And I think it's absolutely on the money that on a level they care about these people. They genuinely do. Doesn't stop them from doing what they're doing, which begs the question, why is that? Why are they compelled to do that? But I think that you can basically take those things, those kind things they're saying to people, absolutely take them at face value, I think.
Right. And it's very curious dialogue as we've continued through the 3 seasons. As we've had the monsters at first and how they've kind of interacted and spoken with the characters, and then all these other kind of supernatural elements or possible supernatural elements in their dialogue, like the bartender Tom and Father Cautry come back. There's very particular ways that these things, and they're all smiling. It's so peculiar and very curious to see how this is going to play out, because I just assumed would peg him to be an evil entity. He made a deal kind of like a devil crossroads. Okay, he tricked them. I got it. But the dialogue doesn't say that. The dialogue says differently, that there's more to this man than meets the eye. There's more to this place than meets the eye. And I can't wait to see what the reveal is. We do have lots.
I was going to add to what you just said, Scarlett. I won't be long.
No, you're good.
The dirty yellow suit, to me, symbolizes that somewhere down the line, this guy was on cloud 10, just like the inspiration that, if I'm not mistaken, John Griffin, Jack Bender, they stated, hey, one day we saw this guy wearing an all yellow suit. He was on cloud 9. We went back. It just seemed like his cloud 9 was being rained on. So, I mean, I think the yellows just symbolizes, good. It could symbolize caution. Before you see the red light, is red, yellow, green. I think yellow in this case means caution, because the next stop is hell, damn near. You can't go out and the fact that he didn't rip Jim open like the rest of the monsters in the town, I mean, it just doesn't give off chaotic entity. I mean, because we've seen the boy in white around more dead bodies than the man in yellow, in my opinion.
And we'll have to wait and see. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, my impression from the scene at the end of season 3, right up until now, and nothing has changed it really, is that everything that he's doing is absolutely intentional.
Yeah.
And there's also this sense of him being in absolute control, of the situation. So there's no hurry, there's no ego. There's like, I'm running the show here. I'm calling the shots. And everything's going to happen the way I want it to.
But I do actually have a question for you, Mr. Doug, and I understand if you can't answer it or if you know anything. But the man in yellow kept mentioning the story. And we always know Ethan always talks about the story. Is there a connection with the story?
I don't have any information on that, but just as a viewer, from the get-go with Ethan, it seemed to me to be very clear what his function is in the story. I mean, it just drives me crazy when I see all these theories online that, Ethan is the man in yellow and blah, blah. And of course, now we've inadvertently given them more ammunition, because it's like, well, they're both talking about how, they both said the same line about story walkers. Well, number one, we didn't say exactly the same line the way people keep saying we did. And number two, I don't think that means there's a connection between the two of them. I think that's the writers just underlining something that they want to get across to the audience. When Ethan started quoting from the Chronological book in the very first episode, I, as a brand new viewer, looked at that and went, oh, I get it. When this kid starts spouting the rules, pay attention, because this is where we are. That's how this place works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and they did that throughout this episode, where they made sure to say certain phrases or whatever it may be to, like you said, let us know, okay, that is a thread. It doesn't mean anything other than, yes, we're confirming that, we're going with a storybook, adventure quest type of setup. The 4-7 being confirmed now in several seasons. I don't know what it means, but it's something more than just, okay, we saw something like the bile, right? The bile hasn't been brought back up. So to me, the bile may never have meant anything other than just the fact that they showed that these monsters do have some fluids in them and they're kind of human, but they're not, right? Like,
well, this is a really good example of story elements in this series that I think have inadvertently led a few people astray. And I think it stems from a misunderstanding of what the purpose of those story elements was. For example, when Jim, trying to make sense of this place, comes up with the idea that maybe this is just some kind of government experiment, who does he tell? He tells the worst person he could possibly have chosen.
Right.
He tells Randall, who of course immediately buys it. And what's the end result of all of that? Donna ends up tied to a tree with a knife at her throat. And that was the purpose of that little plot line. It wasn't the writers trying to say to us, yes, you're going to find out at the end that this is all a big government experiment and we've been lying to you for 5 seasons. No, that's not it at all. They were just creating a little dramatic arc that culminated in the attack on Donna. That's what that stuff was there for.
And I assume some of those things, because even Jade, when he goes before the bartender passes and he's talking to him about things, and you have Dale saying certain lines about what this place could be like, there's several characters that kind of describe what they think this place is. And I just assume that's the characters, similar to the way us viewers are watching the show and trying to figure it out. They're throwing out all these possibilities that it could be. Again, just kind of getting us into it from season 1 and then developing, okay, now Jim's gone through, okay, we know it's not this because I've seen this, right? Like I know I've seen the monsters. Randall, he's watched them, he's studied them. Okay, we know it's not this now. He's fully aware that whatever these theories were, we're kind of crossing them out. Just like you were saying, Jim did the smartest thing by kind of doing his own little murder mystery board type situation. What do we know? Those were all things that it was so good for the show to do, because it was as if the show and us, we were as if we were townies were us, because we're watching them do the same things we're doing. So I enjoy that. But again, it's only just there for what it's there for. Now they've confirmed what the actual threads are, right? I mean, I feel like they've confirmed so much in this episode as to which threads to follow. Now, what they mean, we still don't know.
Well, the bile one is another example of this kind of thing, as opposed to being something that I think is going to come back to haunt us later. I think the purpose of that was it got us to the point where, Boyd was able to kill Smiley. And then, of course, Smiley comes back. And what's the purpose of that? To bring Boyd to the very precipice of total despair. That's
and then also to show, hey, bullets, this. You're not just going to kill the monsters. It's not that easy. It's not that simple.
Exactly.
It's more complex.
In fact, you're not going to kill them at all, because
now revealed to us, yes,
burned them to ashes, and he came back anyway. And the purpose of all of that was to lead Boyd to the point where he went, "That's it. I'm done. We've lost. We can't win."
How many bullets do I have left for the town?
Exactly.
But before we dive any further, we do have a few questions and things in the chat. Let's see. I'm trying to get back to here we go. Thrifty Typewriter asks, don't know if this has been asked yet, but has Doug, have you been a fan of the show before signing on to it?
Well, The answer to that is kind of complicated because I actually auditioned before the very first season, which I'd said in many interviews. And all I saw at that point were the sides for the two characters that I auditioned for. So I think I saw a total of maybe 4 scenes. I didn't know anything about the series other than what I was seeing on the page, but it could be argued that I became a fan right then and there because I had never seen writing for a TV series like this before. I just thought, whoever's writing this stuff is a genius. So in that sense, I guess I was a fan even before any of you were. But I didn't actually see an episode of From. The first episode I saw was 3 days before I shot the season 3 finale. I found out that I had the job on a late Saturday night. Sunday, I immediately signed up for Paramount Plus, and all I had time to see before I finished packing for my 8 a.m. flight the next morning to Halifax was the pilot and the finale of season 1. And then when I got to Halifax on the Monday, between the Monday and the Tuesday, I managed to see the beginning and the end of season 2, the first and last episodes of season 2. And that was all I had seen when we shot the season 3 finale. I didn't get a chance to actually watch seasons 1 and 2 until after I got back home. And then, of course, when season 3 came out, I followed it along like everybody else. But yeah, I was pretty much a fan from the get-go. But I had a lot of catching up to do compared to the rest.
Right. Oh man, and it takes a few watch throughs, right? Because even when you watch through it, just to absorb it. And at this point, I think a lot of us have watched. Oh, I don't know how many times we've watched season 1 at this point. It's like ridiculous going back and comparing
Quite
things.
a few times.
Woo, some watch hours there, boy.
I think
Pretty
I've
much.
watched all 3 seasons 4 or 5 times now in total.
Yeah, give or
At
take.
least I can't even remember how I've lost count.
Might be more than that for me, but yeah, give or take.
Right. I don't know how many, because just in going back and watching particular scenes, like, all right, so you kind of got, well, I came in at season 2, so I had to watch season 1, and then I was into season 2, and then we compared the seasons together, so you kind of have a couple rewatches in certain episodes, if not a full rewatch, and then that's how we've kind of progressed. So yeah, even now, I'm like, I had to go back and I'd watch the scene with Martin and Julie just to kind of, again, remember exactly what Martin said to her, right? Like just trying to compare dialogue or anything to kind of like, okay, who could you have been prior to this form here that we see? So yeah, a lot of watches.
But I know we asked our panel guests last night what you got to see the episode, and I know you're also a fan of the show as much as you're part of the show. Do you have a favorite moment from the episode?
From this episode?
Yeah.
I have to be honest, that opening scene, I was so happy when I read what they came up with for that scene. I just thought, this is perfect. It's just perfect. I mean, there are several bits in it that I think are like, I love how they bookend that with what Sophia does at the very end as well.
Right. Yes.
I mean, there's lots and lots of really lovely stuff in this. But from a purely selfish point of view, it's like, oh, I get to do this. Lucky me.
So I have a question. Did you, when you shot the season 3 ending scene, did you also shoot this beginning scene? Because, you know, you were all right there and the equipment was there and set up and everything. Did you go ahead and shoot that entire thing, or did you have to come back?
Season 4 hadn't even been greenlit at that point. They didn't know season 4 wasn't. Season 3 wasn't season 4 wasn't announced until when did that happen? We didn't know about it when we were shooting season 3. That's for sure. It was months later when it finally officially came out that there was going to be a season 4.
Right.
So you had to come back and reshoot, like they set everything up again, and you came back for season 4, and
and it was like deja vu.
Right. We got a few more questions from the chat I want to get to. Don't want to forget about the guys in the chat. Let's see. And Anon, I'm telling you, your name gets me every time because Anon. I know, because my brain wants to say and then I know it's a brain thing.
I look at that and I just see Shakespeare. To me, it looks like Anon.
Is it Anon? See,
Anon means later. So I don't know if that's how Anon pronounces it, but that's what I see when I look at it.
See, Dana?
Right?
man, now I don't know anything. Just
Right?
like you're from.
Right.
I don't either. This is pure conjecture on my part, but every time
No, you're good because no, I legit I mess up words all the time. It is a thing. Actually, YouTube helps a lot because the more you're having to actually do these things, your brain starts to actually function properly sometimes. How about that? Like, 'cause I have to
Right?
type more, so I'm paying more attention to what I'm doing now. I lost a little bit there in the mom world. Just But let's see. We have a question. Was Doug surprised the man in yellow didn't kill Julie?
not at
He
all.
didn't get a chance to, really. I mean, he was having a
No.
conversation there. He was trying to talk to her.
I mean, even if you had asked me when we shot the season 3 finale, I would have said no. I don't think that's what's going to happen here at all. But certainly, when I read the season 4 first episode, when I read that first scene, I went, "Yeah, this makes absolute sense to me."
So, do you think then maybe because Jim got super physical, like was he always going to kill Jim just because of the melody being revealed, or maybe because Jim did kind of go at you a little bit, he kind of get swinging at you and stuff, and then that's when you grabbed him up and was like, you should have been wife digging the hole and such.
I from the beginning, I just assumed that I was there to do what I did. Lines like "I did try to warn you," and this didn't have to happen. I mean, that line right there, I go, okay, the end of the scene is already written right there, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'll just double check because I was
I
thinking,
was
well,
just
he
gonna
didn't go
add-
after her, and I'm like, well, is it what is the turning? What knowledge does she not have yet that he's like, oh, you're good, you keep coming back and forth, you figure it out eventually,
Yeah.
girl. I know you'll get it there, old good old teacup daughter.
I was going to
After
add
the screen.
to what Anon was just asking.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't think he would have had a chance to kill Julie the way she, unalive Julie, the way she disappeared.
Well, they was like
it
mid
seemed like-
conversation.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but when he looks at Jim and turns around, Julie is gone.
Yeah,
And,
he was having some conversation with her, and then
Right.
she just kind of was like poof, and he's like, "Dang it, I wasn't done." He seemed disappointed.
He
Like
seemed disappointed
he
she
wanted
was
to kind
gone.
of have more conversation.
right.
I was actually, I if I had to choose an adjective to describe my response to that, I would probably say rueful. I just felt a bit like, oh, gee, there she goes.
Dang it, I gotta
right.
go look that up.
But yeah, I think she was, just in my theory, I think she was pulled out because her disappearance all of a sudden just seemed like when she got pulled out from Kenny and Acosta in season 3, her, she kind of disappeared then. So, when he turns around, it cracked me up a little bit because when he turns around, it's like, oh no, not again. This is happening again and again and again. So yeah, that's just, I just wanted to add on to what
Maybe he would have grabbed her up had she stuck around a little bit longer.
And had she stuck around a little bit, he might have been like,
so.
hey, you don't
I
think
think
so?
the nature of the dialogue in that scene, I mean, it's very clear that she's not in any danger here,
Right,
I mean, when he turns to her and says, "We have to stop meeting like this," it's like, okay, and I mean, the whole he's just very good natured about the whole thing, and he's just kind of like mildly amused when she disappears on him. I don't think she was, I mean, I completely understand why she left. That makes total sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think had she hung around, no, I wouldn't have done anything to her. I might have said, "You might want to get out of here," or something like that. But I don't think she was in any imminent danger at all.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Let's see. Just reading through. The Thrifty Typewriter says Manuel seems like a game maker. He's letting everyone play out because he likes to watch it all happen. But I think he's been forced to step in to make sure the cycle continues.
Now that's interesting because when I read the season 3 finale, again, I had no more information about the Man in Yellow than I have now. And I was trying to figure out, how does he fit into this big picture? Now, I hadn't seen a lot of the series at that point, so it was really hard to do. But my intuitive sense was, this seems like a guy who, I mean, he may just be an evil character straight up. But then again, he might be some kind of referee. Like maybe part of his function is to make sure that the fucked up rules of this place are adhered to, Maybe that's his major thing. I don't know. I mean, that's still an open question for me, exactly how he fits into the big picture here.
Right. And I do love that sort of savory mystery to him, this layering of a character that we over time, like now kind of looking back, okay, he's always kind of been there, whether it's just kind of hovering over them in this, world, not physically there, but he's still kind of able to interact with them. And then now he's like, okay, here I am. And not only am I here, but I guess to pop out all my powers because y'all know too much. So we get to go in like, DEFCON 5 full on game mode. It's in game kind of, it's awesome. And I can't wait to see what happens with it. And we got a little clarification on the name. It's short for anonymous. But we was all
there you go.
There you go. so he said we can pronounce it however we want. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't even know. See, now I don't know if we were saying he or she either. I don't know if I ever clarified that. Apologies all around.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought it's either just the word anon or it's short for anonymous, but that makes total sense.
Right? I think we need the more you know.
Where is it? I lost it. There it is. How about that? See, it's
right?
Educational.
We're educational here. We learn stuff.
Awesome.
And Bill says you can pronounce my name, Sarah's sweetheart. I mean, you boys, man.
Oh, I swear.
I know. Like, that's why y'all have to wait till the end of the season to possibly get a Sarah cameo from us. We do it early on. That's all they'll want to see. We got to make them wait.
We're waiting. We're gonna wait for Sarah for the end. You guys have to wait all the way until the end.
That's savor. Goodness gracious. And matter of fact, you boys let me know what your favorite clip of Sarah is from the show for Friday night. Otherwise, I get to pick. And I'm going with the screwdriver. Great scene. Her evolution with tools is magical. She went from, the neck to the eyeball. It is great work. And she didn't cry on the last one as bad as she did on the first one. I mean, I understand the first one is hard. It's your first stabbing of the neck and all. I mean, you can't expect some girl to just not be a little emotional. But that second time around with Elgin, held herself together a little bit more. I mean,
what did you take of the eyeball stuff, Mr. Doug? We all like
great pictures. Thank you, Dana.
Watching him get thrown up. I know everybody was really grossed out by that. I was a little squeamish, but not a big deal.
My God. It was the greatest screenshots ever. I got the play-by-play of the needle.
It's not nearly as bad as watching him getting his eye taken out. Fortunately, we didn't actually have to witness that, but
It was great.
Stop.
No, Jerry, look, I took the time to take these said shots. Look, Christy's fine with it. She's good.
Right, Jerry? I can't take it.
But it's part of the show, y'all. We said we were going deeper. You can't get much deeper than that needle. Hang on, let me show you again. See, look how deep it went.
Nope.
That's the deeper dive. See, look. Nope. There it is, diving. Deeper. Nope. Deeper dive. There you go. Nope. And there's everybody's face after. Enjoy.
But I will ask, what was it like filming the actual scene where you turned into Sophia? Like, did you have to do step by step? Did they was that prosthetic? Was that CGI? How did the transformation scene work?
I wasn't wearing any prosthetics. I was just wearing full-on body makeup, head to toe, which took forever to put on. I was in the makeup trailer for about 3 hours inhaling those fumes. And let me tell you, getting sprayed with that stuff is like getting sprayed with ice water. So that was not a lot of fun. The scene itself, I was basically like doing a complete face plant on the ground, just hunkered down as close to the ground as I could possibly get, because the camera was coming from behind me and then over top of me, and then, turning upside down as it came back to me. And it was, Jack was it was probably the most direction I've had from Jack in any scene, because he was very particular about the nature of the movement he wanted and the timing of it. So he was kind of calling stuff out step by step as we were doing it, but he wanted it to look as awkward and painful and uncomfortable as it actually does here.
Oh yeah, you was snapping and popping all over the place. Every little bone in your body was going all over. Oh God, that did not feel good at all.
Yeah, it's clearly not a fun process.
Right. So it's not, and again, it shows kind of the shape shifting and how it's working too. This is not just a glamour per se. Like this is, your body is fully snapping. Like, because there are different forms of shape shifting out there in lores and things. So it is kind of cool to see kind of where they're putting you on the spectrum. This is quite painful. This is not just a quick glamour and I can put on an outfit and I'm just somebody different. No, this is, you've got to like fully pop and stuff.
Doing it the hard way. Absolutely. It was funny though, because I was just saying on another interview that we had to do lots and lots of takes of that scene because the camera work was so complicated, but we finally got what was a really great take. Everything worked physically perfectly. And at the end of it, after they called cut, somebody said, Doug, check your forehead. And I had a leaf stuck right on my face. Completely destroyed the whole shot. I was like, okay, going again. Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, they had you on, how long were you on set for this scene? With the little with the no outfit. Because I mean that has to be something where was it cold in the room? I mean, did they at least turn the heater?
This was the middle of July. It was
okay. Good.
In fact, it was just well,
because I know it's up north, so I didn't know I know it looks nice and pretty outside, but for all we know, it could not be
muggy as hell. It's
all right, perfect. Then you weren't just like freezing out there at least, so you might have been the most comfortable person on set. Then at least they just go hose you down, you're good to go.
I think everybody else around was a lot more uncomfortable than me. Let me put it that way.
Well, at least you were telling us you weren't fully. At least some bits were covered.
No, I had this little modesty pouch on that sort of glued on the front and a little bit on the back, but it was constantly in danger of falling off. So
God!
But here's the thing: when you have to do a scene like that, they have to have a person on set known as the intimacy coordinator, and it's their job.
They sound very special.
It's a very special job, believe me, because there are all these really strict protocols about what you can and can't do, right? And I had never been in this situation before, so I was really afraid that I was going to inadvertently say or do the wrong thing, I was just basically doing what I was told and thinking, okay, I'll just keep my head down and, hopefully it'll all work out. But at one point we were between takes and it was quite a wait because they were changing a lens or something that took a little time. So it was going to be a while. So the intimacy coordinator comes over to me and she's got my robe and she says, would you like your robe? I said, no, I'm warm enough. I think I'm okay. And then she said, well, it's kind of actually for everybody else. Oh, sorry. Didn't think about that. Yeah. They're probably not too happy about having to stand around looking at my saggy ass for the next half hour. So yeah, I'll take the robe. Thank you very much.
Right, like my bad. I'm good. I'm comfortable. How you guys doing? I'm just propped up here, man. I'm good to go. We got another 5 minutes to wait. All right, I'm good. But no, that is interesting though, because I mean, you don't think like again. Us viewers, we don't think about all the little things like that go into the set and the scene and the folks behind it that kind of make all the magic happen. And Dana, I can't be on set. I'd have done messed up in like 2 seconds. They'd be like, I'm like, what? I'm hot. I don't want the robe. They'd be like, oh, ma'am, could you please? I'd be like, I'll go behind a tree and a bush. Leave me alone. I'm stubborn.
But what did you think when you first were told that there was a scene where you were going to have to reveal yourself a little bit? Were you hesitant?
No, not at all. But like I said, I just thought, now you wait till I'm a senior citizen and now you want me to do it? Who's the genius that came up with this idea? No, it didn't bother me at all. Not at all.
Do you have any kind of theory, or you might not can say, but on the suitcase, because we did see, from what I could tell, it's the same exact stickers that's on the suitcase. It really looks like the same one that Victor saw in the cave in an earlier season. Do you have any and it had this white
I can't
dress
comment
in it.
on that, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's one.
Oh yeah, you can
He's
we already
fine.
know it's special. Look, you don't say nothing. Don't give away poker face. But this suitcase, we know it's special because I swear to God, you got like 20 of them down there in the cave. I'm going back and peeping all the chests in the. And how did this thing just pop up? And it's got such beautiful clothes. It reminds me of like, what was it? The Sword in the Stone or something like that, where the wizard, he had the magical bag and he was all bippity boppity booing all the stuff into the magical bag. He could just pull it out all willy nilly and whatever he wanted. It was all pretty and shiny. It made me think of that. I think you got a magical chest here, and I'm curious to see if it is magical or not. It's too pretty. Like these clothes are there are so
Right?
nicely.
Well,
like
Jerry actually has a good question. Why were you laughing at the suitcase? Can you?
Well, here's a bit of inside baseball. That was actually some ADR that we added to the scene months after it was shot. We just did that a little while ago, actually. And it wasn't that I was laughing at it. It was the joy of, there it is. You know, I was supposed to really be enjoying this whole sequence here. That's what that was all about.
So you enjoy others' misery. Okay, good to know.
Well, I don't know. Either that or maybe I just really enjoy cross-dressing. Maybe it's you know.
Well, because when you were walking, and this is another thing I'm trying to figure out is where exactly you are. We talked about it, I think, last night a little bit, or mentioned it. These stone ruins, we got the dungeons, and then there's some just outside where the cellar and stuff are. So I don't know where these are, but it's in the middle, I think, of these kind of like stone ruins, or somewhere right around like where there was a house or something else here, kind of like the dungeon. So I'm curious if it's like somehow maybe it's, I don't know, similar magic to whatever's going on with the dungeons, and these things are able to pop up because
I don't really know how close this area is to the dungeons. I don't know where they fit into the geography of all this. All I can tell you is it's not very far from town. It's totally, somebody was asking me, is it really like full on forest there? And yeah, it absolutely is. I'm sure they've shot lots of the forest scenes in this area.
Because this is somewhere just outside of the town, because they've run into a few of these different stone structures out there, very just outskirts of town before they get too deep.
It's not terribly far. If I were to walk into town from here, I mean, of course, they always drive you, but right. I would probably guess this is maybe about a 10-minute walk from the outskirts of town.
So I'm trying to figure out if this is near the cellar area, because there are some stone ruins over there by the cellar.
No
but
idea.
I don't think you were that close. I know you don't, but I've just been thinking about this whole situation because it's so strange that we see the cellar is connected to the caves. And if these structures, because when I first saw this in the trailer, I thought for sure we were going to see you like open a hatch and you just like go grab down inside of there and grab the suitcase from the caves and something like that. I'm like, oh my God. But so I wonder how the suitcase just it popped up there, which is so crazy because it wasn't fully buried. It was only just under the surface. Okay, so it was a full dig because it looked like you dug a little bit under there, but the way they showed it, it seemed like it wasn't. It was about as far as Fatima had to dig to find the hatch.
Well, and I think one of the reasons for that is, they just don't want 5 minutes of footage as I pull this thing out of the ground with my bare hands. They try to make it as easy as possible. I think the intent was simply, okay, he has buried this thing here. It's really as simple as that.
Right.
And
because
I don't
this
know
the way it looked. It looked like it was kind of like a shallow grave, like it wasn't buried very deep.
That's right. That's absolutely right. But I think the reason for that is, they just wanted to make the scene of me extracting it from the ground as efficacious as possible. They didn't want it to go on forever. So yeah, that's what I think. And in terms of where we are, I honestly don't know how important that is. Like my sense just from shooting it was that, okay, we're in some fairly some part of the forest that's not too far from town, something that's relatively convenient to get to. I mean, there didn't seem to be any major landmarks around that this scene was tied to. So I don't know how important the exact location is. Maybe it will be. Maybe we'll find that out down the road, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just found it curious because it seemed to be in the middle of, again, these stone structures, and they seem to have a significance, um, like the settlement, to a past that is part of the piece of the puzzle that we don't quite understand yet.
And
And
that may well be true.
the cellar is connected with that. And the cellar is, again, it's almost where the town merges with it. In the cellar, you have the church, or what they use as a church. I don't know if it was actually always a church or not, but that stone building in town kind of matches these things. And then I think Colony House, the basement, similar kind of basement stone structure. So it is curious if the town was built upon these ruins and what these ruins meant to the story. I've always just found it curious. And to just seeing you pulling a chest that is almost magical because the clothes in it, again, it was a shallow grave. And I don't know much about trunks of this nature, suitcases, but, and we know there has been weather that has gone on here. So the clothes being so pristine for it to be in there, I was just curious, like, is that even possible for the clothes to still look that good? So again, back to this magical sort of like stone structure similar to the dungeons, like where does that fit in? I know you don't know, but this is me just rambling my general thoughts on the episode. But I do find it interesting to see where that's going to fit in. If you go back, if you start pulling out these chests all over the place, I mean, I don't know where we're going then. I'm full on lost.
Well, and this is one of those moments that, you know, may turn out to be something very significant, and it may turn out to be nothing at all, or somewhere else along that spectrum. Who knows?
Very true. Very true.
Well, now that you've gotten to see the episode and it's aired, do you have any just like thoughts that you want to share with like your feelings and how you felt after watching the episode for the first time?
When I read the episode, I just thought, oh, this is from a story structure point of view, I thought this is a really fine piece of writing. And this was really my first experience of having, well, I mean, I read the whole episode of the season 3 finale. They sent me the whole script for that, of course, but I didn't have any context for it. This was the first time where I was able to read a script from start to finish and know exactly how it fit in the story and all that stuff. And I just thought, oh, this is so well put together. I mean, the way the reveal of Sophia and all that was just so wonderfully handled. And also the continuity of where we've just come from the end of season 3 and how all that stuff gets dealt with. You know, Fatima, for instance, coming back and right on the heels of having just given birth to Smiley, and dealing with the aftermath of Elgin and, you know, Boyd, who has just witnessed Smiley coming back to life and the trauma of that, and the Matthews family going, where's dad? You know, I mean, all of those elements. And it's interesting hearing people responding to seeing it, because there seems to be a tremendous amount of satisfaction in terms of the answers people have gotten, the information that the new information they've been given, and how it all fits into the story so far. It just was a very satisfying experience from start to finish to see it all.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Again, like you said, from the moment that we get, and I have a personal gripe from you, Mr. Man. You come messing with my people from Alabama. How dare you? It's the second time I've seen Alabama. There was somebody like season 1 that had like an Alabama shirt on, but it wasn't like it was from like Rainbow, Alabama or something like that. I forget, but I was just like, oh, I seen that. I was like, Dana's coming for me. I'm never not getting in the car tonight. I'm staying home. Well, I found that I don't know. That hit personal for me.
So you were happy with the overall episode? Because I know we were very, very happy with the overall episode that we got.
Yeah, I was. I think it did what I expected it to do when I read it.
Now, I know some people were asking, and I've just assumed it was because they didn't show the entirety of what he did up here at the tree. But I know some people were asking, like, where were the crows?
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I just assumed because they were kind of showing us this and didn't want to show too much. And then they cut back to the, at the end of it and showed Sophia coming in with him, that they just assume we all know the crows come in. So they we're kind of just not showing that part just to kind of make up, because they were having so much in the episode to kind of save on time. But I'm curious, anybody on the panel, do y'all think, and Mr. Doug, if you can say, was it just a time cut or is there more meaning?
This is another example of it may be significant, it may not be. Personally, given how brief this sequence is, as Sophia is describing it, I think they probably, I mean, the whole purpose of this is to see, oh, he's alone. Oh, he picked her up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the focus of all this. And because it all had to happen in such a short period of time, adding the crows just would have kind of lengthened this sequence beyond the point that was useful for them. That's my guess, but it's a pure guess.
Right. That's what I assume. What about
and
you,
I,
James?
I agree with Doug, but at the same time, if I had to have a theory, I'm wondering because, you know, the man in yellow changed into Sophia, the preacher's daughter. He had to know a preacher was coming into town. Did he orchestrate that? Like, you know, he didn't have a plumber come into town, you know, and he's not the plumber's daughter. He knew he would be the preacher's daughter. He knew a preacher was coming into town. So, you know, are the crows do they only appear when the boy in white brings someone into town? You know,
again, it may just be that the crows weren't there because it would have been an added element that in this particular context wasn't really necessary, because the purpose of this segment is to show the pastor arriving alone and then picking her up on his way into town. Like,
right. Yeah, I agree.
It's just a detail that they probably thought we don't really need to get into that here, you know, because the thrust of this is a big reveal for the audience, seeing this guy coming into town like this. It's like, wait a minute, he was driving the car by himself? What the hell? So, you know, who gives a shit about the crows, basically?
Now, the only thing I could say to it to add to kind of like the side of folks saying like, well, where are the crows, is also when Sophia is doing her big performance by the ambulance and she's describing what happens. I'm trying to remember. I believe she mentions the tree, but not the crows. So again, it could just be a lack of timing. Because she tells them, she's like, okay, you know, we came to a tree, we were trying to turn around and find our way back. And then she kind of like starts collapsing back into Tabitha and like, you know, full on sobbing and stuff like that. But she never mentions the crows. And again, it could just be because the scene, like you said, it didn't need it. She's saying we got to the tree. Everybody knows if you get to the tree, you get to the crows. I don't have to say the whole long spiel. But I see where, again, because the way people, and I do it all the time, the way I view the show, it's like, well, you didn't. That's twice in the episode it wasn't mentioned, you know, kind of thing, or brought up.
Well, we're almost trained to pick up on those things, whether they're meaningful or not. We dissect this show unlike anything else. So like,
you're not alone.
You know, so picking up that the crows weren't there. It's just unavoidable because we pick at this show.
Well, and Beehive Girls mentioned something here that a lot of people have said, and that is my thought about the lack of crows was that maybe the crows are good, so they were avoiding the man in yellow. Well, if that's the case, why were they all there at the funeral where that we saw in the trailer, where she's standing there? I mean, she's man in yellow, so if the crows are good, why are they all perched around that, you know?
Mm-hmm. True. See,
but I do have
the show
to say,
tends to do that to us, right there. That there is the roadblock in a theory, right?
I do have to say, she picked up your mannerisms. Did you have to work with the actress beforehand so she could kind of get a feel of how to bring you out? Because when she's in the scene with the preacher at the end, I literally said I could see you. Like I could see, like she literally, the way you were taught, the smile, the tone, the comments. Did you work with her beforehand so she can kind of get to emulate you in that way?
Not at all. In fact, I've only met her twice. The day that we shot the transformation scene, I met her at the trailers when I was on my way into makeup, just to get introduced to her and say hello, and that was it. And then we had to do some posing for CGI stuff here in Toronto at a little studio here, and we were both called on the same day, so I got to see her there as well. But again, it was just basically to say hello to. All that is on her. That's just her. And I can tell you this much. I was saying the other day to somebody, you know, if it were physically possible, I think Jack Bender would want to have her baby. He's extremely pleased with Julia.
She did really good bringing the inner man in yellow out.
Dude, she had me kind of sold there for a minute too, until everybody was like, no, I was like, what? Oh shit. I think it really went till the end of the episode. I was sold. But again, she pulled same way she pulled at Tabitha, man. She pulled at me. I was like, oh no. I mean, I knew it was kind of extra, but I'm like, well, you know, she was just in a car wreck. I mean, shit. She did, look at that. I'd be freaking out too a little bit, you know? So, I mean, because a lot of people were saying, oh, she was overly, you know, and that was kind of giving her away. I don't know. I would see, this is why I wouldn't survive in From Dana. Not only would I would trust the man in yellow, but I would have done touch the music box, all the little bits. I'd have done open the door, by my curiosity knows no bounds.
Right. But we do have another question from Jerry. He says, what's your favorite medium to play in, theater or television shows or televised shows?
They're really apples and oranges, Jerry. There are things I love about both of them. It's been interesting working on this series, though, because most of the stuff that I've done prior to this has been really small roles and, you know, day player stuff and stuff like that, where there hasn't been the opportunity to delve into a character in the way that I've been given the opportunity to do with the Man in Yellow. And so it's always been interesting doing TV because the vast majority of my experience has been in theater, and the novelty of working on TV has always been interesting to me. But this experience has actually brought home some differences between the two media that I've never really thought about before. I've always kind of made less of the difference between film and theater than most actors do. Most people talk about them being really different from one another, and I've always disagreed with that. You know, I've said, to me, it seemed the main difference is, you know, if I'm doing an intimate love scene with someone in a theater that's got 1,100 people watching us, it's going to come out very differently than if I'm doing a love scene in a movie when the camera is like right here in front of my face. You would automatically adjust to the fact that, you know, you're not pitching it out to the back of the theater kind of thing. Like, you don't have to do that in TV and film.
You're right.
So those kinds of differences are adjustments that actors would just automatically make. But the big difference that has really come home to me is this, and I was just talking about this the other night. In theater, when you go to see a play, every minute of theater time, of stage time that you're watching has had approximately an hour of rehearsal. So everything these people are saying and doing, they've done 60 times already, at least. Mm-hmm. And so what you're seeing, with the exception of maybe the first few performances, because the weird thing about theater is you do the entire rehearsal period without one of the essential elements of the show, and that is the audience. So, mm-hmm. You know, when a show first opens, it usually takes a few audiences to sort of figure out how to work them into the whole process. But once that's in place, you know, people are coming to see a finished product. It's not that way in film. When you're shooting film, you're shooting lines that you may have learned 15 minutes ago, or maybe last night, or maybe all those lines you learned when you came into work this morning got changed at the last minute. And
right. All the rewrites. Oh, God.
And that stuff is in a very different part of the brain. It's like right up in the front of your short-term memory. You know, when you're working in theater, that stuff works its way a little further back. So the danger of going up on lines in theater, I mean, it does happen, but not nearly as often as it happens in film and TV, because this is the other thing, you have so many elements to deal with in TV and film that you've never encountered until you get in front of the camera. For example, when we shot the season 3 finale, that's where I found out I was going to be standing on the top of this hill, walking down this fairly steep incline. And the hill was like covered with mud and leaves and rocks and roots sticking out of the ground. And I had to negotiate this whole thing, walking down this very tricky hill and maintaining my eye contact with Eon the whole time. And it's like, I was absolutely convinced there was going to be at least one take where I just fell flat on my ass on the rope. Fortunately, it never happened. But, you know, it's like, that's what's going through your head when you're running the scene, you know? And it's those kinds of elements that often in TV and film, you only get to deal with on the day, and you have very little time to adjust to that stuff. And that for me is still part of the learning curve, to be honest.
Let's see. And Jerry says also, when I interviewed Liz Sanders, she told me rehearsals are super quick or not a thing sometimes. Is that your experience?
It depends on the nature of the project, but that's certainly the case with From. I had absolutely no rehearsal for the season 3 finale. There is a kind of rehearsal that automatically happens with every shot, and that is rehearsing for camera. But that's usually just, where do we put our marks and that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, you work out some of the physical business. The only thing that we rehearsed, of course, was the fight, because fight rehearsals have to be choreographed. So we did that the day before we shot it. But other than that, no, there was no rehearsal at all.
About how many takes did episode 10 of season 3 take?
Couldn't tell you, because we probably had 5 or 6 different setups for that scene. And each of those takes, each of those setups, probably on average 4 or 5 takes, maybe. I'm guessing, but something in the ballpark, I think.
Oh man. Yeah, because I watched something today that just popped through, and it looked like it was a interview with the actress that plays Julie, and she was talking how her and the actor that plays Elgin, how like certain ones, because she's kind of gotten to be in a lot of scenes, right? She has been able to kind of be with a lot of different characters. Julie's been everywhere, just about. She kind of pops in a lot of different places, so she's interacted with a lot of different actors. And she was talking how like some will kind of have these times where they will sit down and they'll kind of go over their scenes together beforehand, and then others are like, "No, we'll just take care of it when we get there." And so it is interesting to see, I guess, how even just each actor, and if you do get a chance to kind of pair off with your castmates to maybe go over scene, or in your case, they are probably trying to keep you a little more close, or keep their eyes off of you as much, maybe not give you too much time with them. But it is interesting to see that, though, because I'm sure different for everybody.
Well, it's certainly different for the regulars, because they're there for the bulk of the season. I mean, with a few exceptions, most of them are there pretty much from start to finish for each season. They might have a week off here and there, but like they're kind of kept close to home. And as far as I understand it, most of them are sharing accommodations. So there are 2 of them who are always together, So of course, there's going to be a lot more interaction between them. I can tell you this much about Julia playing Sophia. She did have several, I got this from an interview that I saw of her online today, that she and Jack Bender had lengthy discussions about the Man in Yellow and how to portray all that stuff. So, I mean, she did have some prep time with Jack on that. But still, a lot of that just came down to, what she herself came up with. It's very different for people like me, because most of the scenes I've done so far have just been, me and 1 or 2 other people. And so they're the only people I see. The only reason I've met anyone else in the cast is because there have been times where a few of them have been there working on something else while I'm doing my scene. And so, you get to meet them at the trailers kind of thing.
Right. Well, hopefully they'll have some more of you. And that was one thing we were talking about last night. We're hoping that as much as we loved the character Sophia and how well the actress portrayed her, we are scared that we won't get to see you, snapping and cracking and popping all over the place anymore. I mean, it was such a bittersweet thing, because it didn't even hit me at the end of the episode. I think when we first initially watched it on the stream, it wasn't till later and people started bringing it up, and I was like, oh wait, dang it, you're right. No. So I'm hoping you get to because they're going to bring the outfit at some point back to the police station, and Victor and all them are going to, hopefully he'll remember some bits. He looked a little interesting after the car crash. He's just, so hopefully you'll get your suit back and mess with him at least by the end of the season somewhere. Because Victor was definitely,
or at least flashbacks or something.
Right. Or Julie going her story walking, something.
Well, I'm afraid I can't comment on that.
I know you
we
can't.
know. We
It's
know.
not,
We just
it's not a question, just our personal thoughts and concerns that we're going to, if we don't get to see you again, it hurts and breaks our hearts. Because again, just what they showed us of you and how you were talking to Julie and Jim. I mean, again, when we did the song, we didn't have much to go off of. We did the little fan song, and people kind of come up with these little lyrics. And they came up with lyrics that kind of did describe you, because you are this sort of calm yet violent person. It's this two-sided sort of dude here that we have. You know, you talk about kindness and stuff, and yet you still rip somebody's throat out. So, we are gonna miss seeing you if, unfortunately. Oh, I don't want that to be the case. Like, oh, that sucks. Again, they got the suit. It's fine. We know the suit will end up in the police station based off the trailer at some point here, hopefully soon. So maybe you'll be able to, like, I don't know, go back and forth. I don't even know how it's possible, because you in a good position right now as far as your character goes.
Yeah.
That was a good disguise. I ain't even gonna lie, man. She got me fooled.
Well,
Yeah, and
Go sorry,
ahead, Mr. Doug. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, what I've been saying to people about that is, like, just look at it this way. Every time you see Sophia, you're seeing me, you know, just a younger, blonder, cuter version of me with boobs. So there you go.
But it was it's a face. Look, I mean, she's so.
Right.
See, look at the
But
stand.
I have a feeling, because another thing that came up in our discussion last night was that, unfortunately, this show doesn't market itself well. And it doesn't, like, we haven't seen it at any of the conventions or any advertising in the traditional sense. I have a feeling that From, even after it's over, is going to just explode even more. I don't think it's going to be the end of From once it's over. And I have a feeling you are going to go down as an iconic villain, and people are going to recognize you even long after From ends. Because you just have this, there's just something about your presence in the show that we have been anticipating for seasons. And now that we got you, we want more. No, and I think you are just going to go down in history as such a memorable character, whether we get more of you from this point or not.
Well, I know it's still early days, but we just had a Comic-Con here in Toronto several weeks ago. And I found out about it back, I guess it was about February or so. So I sent them a note, because it's literally a 5-minute walk from my place where they have Comic-Con. I could have walked there. And I didn't know if there was going to be anybody there from or not. So I just sent them a note saying, you know, this is who I am. Are you guys interested in having me? Didn't hear a peep out of them. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I was shocked. Going to, because I go to New York Comic Con every year, and I was just shocked that there was no presence of From. Nothing. Like, and I was disappointed in the sense, because I know it has a following. I know it has, because look at the YouTubers that talk about it. I mean, it's YouTube that's really kind of getting the word of mouth out there, and the fans a place to talk about this show. But I just have a feeling that From is just going to get this cult kind of following and this iconic status even after it's gone.
I suspect you're right about that, because it already has that. I mean, I'm astounded at its international popularity. I got an email from a guy, or a message on Instagram one day from Mumbai or somewhere, and he said to me, "Do you realize that all of India is watching you right now?" And my first thought was, all 1.4 billion of them, really? But it really brought home to me the fact that, holy shit, there's a lot of people around the world who are totally invested in this series. I was in Spain last spring, and it's huge in Spain. It's huge in North Africa, the Middle East, Asia. It's just massive. And we don't hear a lot about that here in North America, but yeah, it literally has a worldwide following. And I'm very surprised. I actually went to Toronto's Comic-Con 2 years ago when we shot the season 3 finale. It happened just after I got home, I think, not long after I got home. And I had never been to one, and I thought I should go and check this thing out. And I was fully expecting there to be a From booth somewhere, and there wasn't. I was kind of surprised.
We all are. We all are. We were very shocked that the marketing just, and I think it came up that budget and all that other stuff. But we're shocked that they don't push it more, especially with the name. We even brought that up. It's such a difficult name, like that you can't. It's hard to search for. It's hard to find information on. Like you have to really be tricky with the words and how you put stuff into the search just to get what you need, even as creators.
You can't just put From in Google. You have to put From TV series or something. You got to add more to it.
From an MGM,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't make it easy. But I just have a feeling that this is just From is going to be around forever. Because even to this day, there are still Lost channels out there, still talking about Lost and breaking it down and, going over stuff. And I have a feeling From is going to do the same.
And that was something I noticed at the Comic-Con here, was that a lot of the shows that were represented are things that have been off the air for several years. Like they're still making the Comic-Con circuit for sure.
Yes. So it's going to be interesting. Well, if you ever make your way to New York Comic-Con, please let me know, and I will make sure that you go to where the good pizza is. I will make you a nice homemade lasagna, because we only eat homemade lasagna here, no Stofers, homemade only. And I will give you the perfect tour of New York.
Well, I would love to come back to New York City, but I have to be honest with you, I will not be crossing the border in the immediate future.
Well, if it ever changes, you have somebody here in New York that will gladly be your tour guide.
And hopefully it won't be long before then. It pains. It's been far too long already since my last visit to New York. I love New York City. Fell in love with it the very first time I was there, which was over 40 years ago. And would love to go back. There have been so many things. In fact, I almost went there a couple of years ago. Many years ago, I did the Shakespeare and Company workshop, which takes place in Massachusetts. And some of the graduates of that program have established the Linkletter Center in New York City that does voice and acting workshops. And I know two of the women that are in charge of it. And they invited me to come down and do the workshop a couple of years ago, but I was too broke to go down and do it. I tried to get a grant from the government to go, and I didn't get the grant, so I couldn't go. But I've just been looking for excuses to go back to New York for a long time, and I hope it's not too much longer before I get to do it.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I know, and guys, I think is StreamYard's being the thing again, Dana? I'm sorry, guys, in the chat. Okay, I thought I wasn't just crazy when I looked over, and then there was well, nobody commented, and then I get like this huge string of comments coming to StreamYard. Like, oh God, there were questions, there were things, there were bits.
So go ahead, start asking some questions. Sorry, our StreamYard is like freezing and then all of a sudden we just got hit with like 100 comments. It happens.
I don't think we did this one from the Thrifty Typewriter. So let's see. When did you learn that you would be back for season 4? What was your reaction when you learned your role in the season? If spoilers are an issue, I understand if you can't say.
It's a bit fuzzy now. I guess it would have been, let me see. We shot that scene in July, mid-July, I think it was. And I had known for several weeks before that. I think it was probably around May that I found out that I was going back. I didn't get the script. You don't get the scripts until fairly shortly before you shoot. So I didn't see the script for episode 1 until probably sometime in early July, I would guess. And I just loved, when I read it, I just thought, oh, this is awesome. My friends were asking about it, and of course I couldn't tell them anything, and I would just say to them, all I could tell them is, when you see this, you're gonna lose your shit.
No, I know, right? It was all that was my response.
Well, it's funny because my mom actually, she normally doesn't stay awake that late, but for From, she will stay up till midnight and watch the episodes. She came in my room after, and she's like, you tell the man in yellow he's evil.
Oh.
She's like, he's evil. She's like, he's evil. You tell him he's evil.
Did she feel the same way I did? Like at first, like we're like, oh, this poor child.
Nope, my mom said she
damn
saw
it.
you starting to shape shift, and she was like, "That's it. That's devil stuff. He's evil. You tell him Mama Susie said he's evil."
Oh snap!
I was like, I will let him know that Mama Susie said you're evil.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to get Mama Susie on.
She was like, I said to her, I was like, would you like to come on and say hi to the man Yellow? She's like, I'm not ready.
She's got to prepare herself.
She's like, I've got to. She's like,
I will light candles and stuff. I'm telling you, get the book out.
Well, the next time you're talking to your mom, just tell her I'm sending her a big hug.
I will. I will. She'll probably be really scared.
No. Let's see. The Thrifty Typewriter also asks, how difficult is it to portray this character with the limited information they provide you?
That's an excellent question. And it's one that I have been sitting with from the day I found out I was doing this series. Because as I think was probably clear earlier, I knew nothing about this guy when they called action, shooting that very first take for the season 3 finale. And I was very lucky that day. I got to meet John Griffin. He was on set that day, so I got to talk to him, which was great because I got to tell him he was my hero. And afterwards, after the whole thing was done and the season was over, I sent him an email and I said, I'm dying to know this guy's backstory. Can you tell me anything about him at all? And it became clear pretty quickly that was not going to happen, unfortunately. And I thought, okay, fair enough. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because on the one hand, it frees you up to make choices like, to just basically follow your own instincts. And that's not often the case with this kind of work. A lot of times these things are dictated to you very specifically. So yeah, there's something freeing about having that much leeway. But at the same time, and maybe this is just, my own psychological makeup, all the while I'm making these choices, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, is this what they want though? Is this in line with what they intend for this guy? And at a certain point, you just have to let that go and trust your own instincts and hope for the best. And actually, you were asking earlier about my response to the first episode of season 4. And when I read that first scene, one of my responses was relief, because when I read it, it seemed very much in line with how I had portrayed the character at the end of season 3, that the humor was there and all of that. And I thought, oh, okay, so that stuff was okay, because apparently they want more of that, and so that was enough to go on to do this episode for me, at least, But yeah, it does sort of feel like you're walking a tightrope a little bit.
Interesting. And yeah, I think they're keeping a lot of those things pretty hush hush, right? Because they really want to keep, I think, those secrets tight.
Right. And there's a very good reason for that. And this is something that I realized about from fairly early on when I started watching the whole, series. And that is that one of the things that's really compelling about this show is that in general, the central characters in From make their discoveries at the same time that the audience does.
Right.
So all of the things that we're curious about, they're equally curious about. And we don't find out until they find out. And in general, we both find out at the same time. Sometimes the audience is a little ahead of the characters. For example, knowing about Sophia is a good example of that. But that's probably one of the most glaring examples. For the most part, we're kind of in the same boat as the characters. And that gives the series a real sense of immediacy, because we're not going to get answers to these questions until these assholes figure it out.
Right?
Really, it's very addictive kind of thing,
And I do enjoy that about the show, because it does. It gives both with the actors having to go through that, their characters, and then us along with the fans being able to do it together. It does create this, and then they're very much so putting it into the show displayed that way, right? Like the dialogue and the way some of these characters talk about how they're trying to figure it out, very much so the way we are. And so they've made sure to add that element. Like, it's not just kind of there, they're making sure to add that element into there so us as fans can kind of relate better to the show. And I do enjoy that.
And I think the policy of sort of giving the actors in the series only as much information as they need as late as possible is part and parcel of this very process. It's like, the later I find out that this is what I'm doing, the more immediate it's going to look on camera, you know? And because the whole series operates on that basis, you know, we're finding stuff out in real time with the audience. That policy makes a lot of sense to me.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And welcome, Susie says, I want to know Maniel's backstory so bad. I really hope they bring Doug back for this. I think the card/Victor drawing kind of feels like they might, right? And yeah, we were talking about this before. Yeah, we definitely want to get as much backstory as they can give us by the end of season 5. And we definitely want Mr. Doug as the Man in Yellow to come back somewhere along in the season. I definitely hope he will. We don't want to see the last of you in this scene, as great as it was and spectacular as it was. There's got to be more.
I'll tell you,
believe that there will always be more of you to come. They can't look. We still got a whole nother season. Even if you don't come back too much this season, you'll be back. I have no doubt.
well, in terms of the backstory thing, I had a kind of a cosmic experience with John, because I can't remember, because we talked on the phone a couple of times, and I can't remember if he told me this on the phone, so I knew about it already. But I did see the interview where he talks about where he got the idea for the Man in Yellow, the guy that he saw in LA. You know the story?
Yeah, I think you told us about it on Dana's.
Yes, I thought I did. And what was interesting to me when I heard that story was that, you know, John's response when he saw this broken down version of the guy several years later, his immediate response was, what the hell happened to him? How did he get from where he was to here? And last year when we shot this, or when the season 3 finale came out, lots of people were asking me, you know, what was going through your head when you were standing at the top of that hill about to do the scene? And I said, well, apart from thinking, please God, don't let me fuck up, what was going through my head was, whoever this being is, wherever he came from, he's clearly an entity that has suffered a lot of damage. And so when John told me the story of where this guy came from, it was like, wow, that's basically what I was saying to myself standing up there at the top of the hill. And that may have been just because he managed to work that into the script in a way that, you know, I intuitively responded to that. But that said to me, okay, the two of us appear to be on the same page in terms of who this guy is. And I don't know if I need to know any more backstory than that. It would be interesting, certainly. It makes your choices a little more specific when you have more information, but also you run the danger when you have too much of that stuff of getting stuck in your head, you know, and that's not good when you're acting.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah. And you're playing it so beautifully. So, and I would say the cast overall, there's not anyone I could say that I think the acting is bad from. I mean, we may not like a character or something like that because they just irritate us. But that aside, it's still driving an emotional response from us that they are wanting. So they're doing their job. Everything is as intended. So the show overall, I mean, from everyone, and then it just continues to get better and better. I know, like, again, we've talked a lot about like your entry into this episode and how you've kind of made your way into the town. But again, the fact that they picked up right where they left off, I mean, not even like the same breath of where they left off, it felt like with this scene, right? Like, because Boyd was down there, we know he's getting ready to come back up, and then we're right back here. And I felt so bad for Fatima. Like, the entirety from this moment until the end of the episode, it's so heartfelt for all of the characters involved. And then it showed something with Fatima, and I'm curious what everybody's thoughts are, as because she's already kind of told them in the last episode of last season about the children and the sacrifice and the monsters and things of that nature. And so at least I know Ellis heard that. But she's come back now in this episode and she's starting to talk about it. And then she's like, I can't remember. Like, she's hitting her head, and she's doing a lot of kind of how Victor and some of our other characters are like, again, they see these things like a dream and it begins to fade. It kind of makes me think of how Victor's trying to draw these things down. Like, that's why he does it. Because again, these things fade away in this place. And she is so distraught in this moment. Like, she wants to remember what it was. It's almost as if she was going to see who you were, but it got clouded, it got faded, and she could not remember anymore. And I was curious, do you guys think it's because of this place? Or if it's just trauma in general and she's just now forgetting?
Well, certainly, if anyone's been through a lot of trauma recently, it's Fatima. But I think in her case, no, I think this has more to do with the supernatural nature of what she's just been through. With Victor, it's a straight up case of just serious trauma. I mean, that kind of memory loss is extremely common with people who have suffered deep trauma. It's a defense mechanism. It's one way that you keep yourself sane. It's by locking some of that stuff away so you don't have to relive it. But in Fatima's case, no, I think she's genuinely trying to remember this stuff. It sort of feels like when you've just woken up from a dream and you can't quite remember what it was. It's got that feel for me.
Exactly. That was exactly the way it felt. Because even later, like, I mean, it was this particular moment more than the later moment when she's talking to Boyd, because that later moment, now she's out of here. He's told her about the monster coming back as Smiley and stuff. So yeah, she's now really like emotionally worked up. I expected her to clam up in that moment and be like, like, I told you everything I can say. But in this moment right here, that desperation for her to try to remember, and it was moments after. This is literally just after she had just been telling Ellis what was going on. And it's like she was trying to repeat the story again, and it slipped away from her, just like a dream. And it was so sad because, again, she's now feeling responsible and also angry, right? I mean, she's so angry. Like, I told everybody. She says it later. I told y'all. I tried to tell you. Nobody listened. Nobody listened. You didn't listen to Man in Yellow. And you listen to Fatima. Ain't nobody listening.
And that's such an interesting dynamic because she is absolutely justified in feeling that way. But everyone around her is equally justified in saying, honey, there was no evidence. There was nothing there. We looked. They didn't. I know some people may have thought she was a little crazy. I think most people got that something was clearly happening.
I know, yeah, there was something, inside
they
her.
They just had no medical evidence. There was nothing to back it up. And she kept insisting there's something inside me. It's like, yeah, okay, but we can't see it. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? When there's nothing on the ultrasound, the machinery was working. Christy knew what she was doing. There was nothing there. So it's one of those cases where you can see both sides of the argument and they're equally justified in their approach,
Mm-hmm. And it was because I think when she first mentioned to Christy, season 2, about her possibly thinking she was pregnant. I believe they said that I don't know if they specified, but I'm assuming she took some kind of pregnancy test. Because it seemed if Christy had confirmed her pregnancy then, that she was pregnant, and I forget how many weeks or months she said she was. And then, of course, the ambulance comes in we get the machine, and then they're like, whoa. Because even Christy and them seemed kind of surprised at first, but then they were like, well, there's no baby. Job's done here. And I was like, wait a minute. How do we go from we're assuming that there was a pregnancy to now there's no pregnancy? I get the machine and all. And then they even were telling them, she was telling them, like, I'm eating things that I shouldn't be eating. Like, this is still, even if it's not a actual physical pregnancy, is a normal birth or something growing in a human inside of me, something is not right. Because she was also, I mean, she started, then she eventually got the belly started to grow there. Well, I think the belly didn't grow until she got kidnapped? I'm trying to remember now.
A little bit.
It sort of came and went. There were sometimes she looked like she had a bit of a belly, and then she looked like she was starving to death. She was so emaciated. But yeah, I think the only person that really got that she was pregnant was Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly believed her. Poor Tilly, which some folks are now saying might have been in one of your forms. Come in on the bus. We're trying to figure out if you don't come back time and time again as another character other than Miss Sophia.
We know you can't say.
And we were looking at the bus as some possibility. You can't say. I'm just throwing it out there. But Tilly is, since we brought Tilly up, she is Tilly and I'm looking at Bogdan now too because I didn't see her at all in this episode.
But we do have another question from Anon. He says, what's Doug's favorite episode prior to his appearance? What's his least favorite episode? And why for each?
Oh, it would be hard for me to say which is my least favorite. God, all the times that I've seen episodes seasons 1 through 3, I'm constantly amazed at how much of it I still don't remember. And I don't think of it in terms of episodes. I think of it more in terms of scenes, I love the finale of season 1. I can say that because they just built to such a great climax, but the things that stick with me most are particular scenes. Obviously the scene where Victor and his dad reunite. I mean, that one will kill me every time I see it. I just love the scene between Jade and Tian Chen when she's mourning her husband and he tells her the story about his grandmother in Paris.
Yes.
Just a lovely, lovely scene. Those are the first two off the top of my head. Another one I really love is that scene. This is from season 3, where Boyd is at Colony House having an argument with Donna, and she says, "Come with me," and she drags him upstairs and she takes him into a room, and you're fully prepared for her to take a strip off him, and she completely falls apart.
Right.
And tells him,
Yes.
just basically confesses how utterly destroyed she is, and that was just like, wow.
They were ready. He was like, "Oh God, here it comes." And nope.
Awesome. And I mean, I know there are lots of others that are just escaping me right now, but those 3 in particular have really stuck with me.
Nice. It is hard to pick a least favorite scene because I know some people, it. For me, it's the least favorite for this kind of show is hard, right? Because I mean, there's so many good scenes, and like I said, well, this scene kind of frustrated me, or this character frustrated me. But was it really bad? Now, having looked back at the whole picture that we have so far, I'm like, well, they kind of have meaning to them.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I wouldn't. It's hard for me to think of it in terms of what would be my least favorite scene, but one of the parts that I found most difficult to watch was, in fact, Fatima's story from the time she found out she was pregnant until almost the end of season 3.
Dude, she was one of the brightest lights in this place for what they did.
It was really hard to watch all of that, and I found it depressed me, that whole storyline. Just her, having to eat all the rotted food and all that kind of stuff. It just really, I found that hard to take.
Oh yeah, that was brutal. And I knew that she was going to have, when they showed the trailer, I was pretty sure when her teeth were coming out that was again malnourishment.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, oh God, she's pregnant. And then that immediately made me concerned for her, because if she's not able to eat food, my first thought was thinking of TV and other movies. And I mean, I hate to go to something like what was it? Twilight? Not the vampire one. Which she ends up getting pregnant by a vampire. It's a human. A vampire impregnates her.
And what her body goes through.
And her body goes through a similar process where she can't digest normal food, but she has to then start drinking blood. And I was like, oh my God, thinking of the monsters here. And even though they're not vampires, but she's going through a similar pregnancy. And her body was going through the same kind of malnourishment and decay until she started to drink the blood. And Fatima and now what she chose to eat was very interesting. And that is still something that is curious that I mean, it's explainable because it's the monsters, but the rotten food is very interesting that was nourishment to grow the monster back. Of course, she dined on what was her name?
Nikki.
She
Nikki,
died on
yeah.
Nikki a little bit. She got a little bit of blood action. But I expected the blood first. Like, she didn't even get to the blood till later on. Her first thing was the compost pile, and I was like, it threw me off completely. I was like, I was kind of thinking, oh, okay, I know where this is going. She's going to start sucking on, finding some dead body. Somebody's going to get torn open, and she's going to start eating on them. No, she went straight for the compost pile. So I'm still curious as to what the significance of that was, other than just to creep us out and say, like, she eats gross things.
I think it was pretty much that. I think it was, they wanted this plot line to have a curve to it. They wanted us to experience some rising tension. And so this was just the beginning of this. This was the clue that, okay, something's clearly wrong here. The fact that she's eating rotten food, this is not a good sign,
Yeah.
and this is going to get, and intuitively you start to think this is only going to get worse. And of course it does. Right. And I don't know if it was any more complicated than that. And, that's another interesting thing about this series. As complex as it is, the story isn't nearly as complicated as a lot of the fandom seem to want to make it.
We know that, but the ride is so much more fun that way. Because I know, look, there's a notorious thing, and I'll have to show it again, but it's where Henry goes down into the basement with Tabitha, and we have all these pictures hanging all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And the particular screenshot that I took, and we're trying to dive into these different images. Well, so we have it zoomed in, right? Because we're trying to look in and really see them. And I zoomed in, and I found something I thought was an image. Turned out to be, I think there was still something behind it, like a cloth or something, but it was a caulk gun sitting on top of like a cloth and just down there.
Yeah. And
We
we
thought- boy,
we
you
broke
wouldn't believe
that
what we all
we broke
saw.
that down,
Look,
and
we
we was
saw that proved to us how our
investigating
minds
and
work. That
looking
was
at it.
something I always go back to and thinking with the show is how our minds work when we're trying to look at something so close that a caulk gun looks like people in yellow suits. And but I tell you, and it wasn't just me. Some people saying that when we showed it to them, again, the psychology of it all, right? Like, all right, look at this image. And then, of course, some people saw a caulk gun immediately, and others were like, oh, yeah, I can see a figure there. I can see this. I can see that. And there you have your brain already messing with you, which the show does to us.
But I know, Mr. Doug, we only have you for a few more minutes, and it's something we forgot to do on our roundtable last night. It's a little bit of a tradition. We rate the episodes from 1 to 10, and I'd love to know what you guys thought in the chat, what you guys would rate this episode, this very first episode. But if you'd like to partake in our little tradition, and if you have a rating, what would you rate this first episode?
Probably not as high as people would want me to, just because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And I hesitate to put a number on it. I'm always interested to see what other people think. I think that's more important because they're the viewers, they're the ones who are taking this all at face value. And I'm of necessity looking at it from a completely different perspective. So I don't know how much use my number would be for anybody anyway, because I'm on the other side of it all. But I'm really curious to hear what the people in the chat think.
As are we, but as of last night,
Michelle's got an 8, and
Yep.
then Bill's giving it an 8.2. For me, again, I mean, I love it so much that I'm willing to give it a 9, but that's just because I got so excited about a lot of the dialogue and sort of the breakdown of Boyd in this episode of all of our characters and how how there was something about too, again, there's just so much with it, how Boyd even told Donna, like, come up, he was like, all right, we're going upstairs. He told Christy even, right? He's bringing Christy into the fold, like, come upstairs with us. Everybody needs to, almost like he's getting ready to tell everybody, look, there's no more secrets. We do kind of need to tell some folks what's going on. So, I mean, I give it a 9. That's just me, though.
And what about you, Mr. James? What are you ranking this first episode of the season?
There wasn't much wrong with it in my point of view. So 8.5 to 9, I could see that as far as, even comparing it to all the other seasons and episodes.
Nice. And I know Mr. Baby Clay, he had to step away because he had to go get food. That's why he's been so quiet. And he's waiting online for his food.
He is in the chat and he gives it a 9 out of 10.
Yes. I myself, and same James, I'm around an 8.5 to a 9. But you know what gets a 10? both you, Mr. Doug, and my girl Clara. She also gets a 10 for the
Oh, yeah,
episode.
we gotta show her real quick before you dip out. Yeah, see, she popped
Busting
in that
in.
scene so crazy. Again, why they just choose Claire to be popping into stuff like this? He's trying to get his eye fixed, and she's just like, "Hello, where's she go? There she is."
I have
There's my
own
girl.
personal theory about that.
Oh, share, please.
And it has nothing to do with the storyline at all. It has to do with production, the production side of things. You know, it's really difficult. It's more expensive to have a whole bunch of colony residents popping in on and off, you know, when you've got to pay like 2 or 3 different salaries. It's more economical to just have like, and particularly when you're trying to decide, if we're talking about background performers, it's like, okay, we need to give a line to somebody. Often those things aren't decided when the scripts are going into production. And so they'll go, okay, this is going to be you kind of thing. I think one of the reasons Clara keeps popping up is because, and this is the other thing, with these people who are only in intermittently, there's the question of availability. When can you get hold of these actors? I suspect Clara probably lives in Halifax, the woman who plays Clara. She's available. They need somebody for a Colony House resident to say a line. She's like the go-to person. And I think a lot of these people saying, she always seems to come in at these really convenient times. It's like, yeah,
She does. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Well, what I'm saying is that, yes, it is convenient. It's convenient from a monetary point of view. It's convenient from a production point of view.
Right.
This is my own personal theory. I don't.
I love it though.
Well,
It's
and
just
there
so
was
much
something
fun.
particular about her, like okay, if you're not really paying attention to it, but then once you pay attention to it and you go back to the storm scene at Colony House where they have the radio tower, she's put in there in so much of that where, again, she catches your eye a little bit more. She's on top saying, hey, there's the storm. She's down. She's the one that gets injured from the lights popping. And then she comes back later, sits down with Jade, you know, is like, hey, Jade, I think we made something angry. She walks away and then pow, Jade has a vision. So it leads you to believe that there's more to her character than maybe there really is. Because that whole scene in it of itself, or that whole, it's a bunch of scenes, but I mean that the whole Colony House radio tower kind of an aftermath with her was very interesting to see how much they used her in particular when they have used other folks in background characters, but she is the one that they use, like, not like she is Colony House background girl number 1 for sure. Anytime next to Nikki. Nikki was the other one they started to use, and then they killed her off.
Okay, here's my thought on that. And again, this is just my own personal theory, but you know the story about both Victor and Kenny, don't you? That Victor apparently was originally not supposed to survive very long. And then they shot a couple of episodes and saw what Scott was capable of and went, we can't kill this guy. We've got to keep this guy. And everybody keeps asking, why do they keep throwing all this horrible stuff at Kenny? And the producers, the creators have answered that themselves in interviews. They've just said, we slowly realized that, like, it didn't matter what we threw at this kid, he could handle it. You know, and so they just kept upping the ante to see if they could get him to crack, and he was always able to come up with the goods. I suspect that a similar thing probably happened with the woman who played Clara. Somebody went, I really like this girl. We've got to make more use of her. And of course, as a Colony resident, there are going to be lots of opportunities to do that. So it may be as simple as that.
If you ever do get to film a scene with her, you could tell her that I'm her number 1 fan and I love her.
I will do that. I have not met her yet, but if I do, I will pass that on for sure.
Thank you. That means so much to me because I love her. Like, I love her. She just makes my brain go wonky, and I just love thinking about, because I know I'm 99% probably wrong, but I just love the 1% that I get to play with. Like, it's fun for me.
Especially the way they pop her in and out. I mean, this scene alone was funny.
I love it.
And I remember Dana thinking, like, see, they did this on purpose, knowing that they didn't. But it was just like, with all the people now starting to look at Claire, and then she just happens to pop in, and she's looking even like, what's going on? I mean, everybody's messaging like, me. She's being nosy and stuff.
Did you see Clara? Did you see Clara? And I'm like, yes, I know.
And I guarantee you that, you know, it's not just the fans who feel that way. It's the producers. I mean, I'm sure that with some of those earlier episodes, it's like, why is our eye always drawn to this woman? And once that happens, it's like, you know, they're going to bring her in more often because, you know, that's happening with everybody. That the scene of Jade stealing her bicycle is a perfect example. Everybody remembers that, right?
Right.
Poor Clara's just riding along, and he's like, "Oh, is that for me?"
Mhm.
And she's like, "No, wait, no,
Grabs
what?
it up.
That's mine." And he's like,
And she's
"Why?"
popping in when Elgin's having his moment with the kimono lady, you know, with she's all whispering in his ear, and then she's like, "Hey, Elgin, how you doing?" Oh, you get this big
Nice
smile on her
collage.
face, like, oh god. Do all the super happy smiling people in From, are they the bad people? I'm sorry, I noticed a theme of smiles and sus characters. I don't know. May not be anything, but no, she definitely, the blue stands out too, right? Like her outfit to me stands out. That blue kind of pops with some of the other characters, and she is one that doesn't seem to change. I mean, some characters kind of change their clothing, some don't. And that's why Elgin, which now he definitely stands out, but he stood out, I think, from the moment he got off the bus. And it wasn't just the vision that he had in the seizure, it was also the crow on his shirt, right? So, like, the show seems to have taken I don't know if they've intentionally done it. I feel like they have attention to detail with their characters, maybe with some more than others, but yeah, the clothing stands out for some of these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's become kind of iconic, and I would find it. I would be very interested to talk to, you know, Jack and Jeff and John and say how much of Clara's arc just has to do with the fact that, you know, she's so watchable.
Right?
And
Inquiring
they would
minds
say-
want to know.
Sorry, what's that?
I said inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if they just said, "Yeah, we just love her. We like to use her when, you know, as much as we can." So,
And she is a good background character that's there. And again, until you notice her, you don't notice her, right? Like once Dana's pointed out all these things, and others have, when they kind of notice her as well, then you notice her more. You know, Dana's pointed out a whole bunch of scenes that are very memorable, where Claire's either actively interacting or she's literally right there, like in the background of the characters that are talking and saying something very profound or something going on. I think there was one, was it Tilly and Elgin, and they started talking about Fatima and the baby and the melody, and she's like right behind there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's a lot of those bits with her. Makes her stand out a little bit.
But Doug, I know you do have to get up early, so anytime that you need to, if you have to leave us, please just let us know, because we could gab with you for hours.
oh, don't worry.
I still got more scenes I could go over right now. This dialogue in this episode was...
We don't want to keep you because I know you said you had to be somewhere early.
No, I'm okay for now. Don't worry about it. I'll let you know when I gotta go.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, because you are most welcome.
We can ramble. We can gab. We can talk, and that's why James.
I got a question.
Balanced.
I got a question. Now, we asked this last night, and I know everybody got me and Dana's live reaction to this next moment here. But Kenny got scooped up, and boys, shh. I was oh my god. Dana actually got it 2 seconds before me because she was like, oh god. I was like, what? I said, oh, it scared the shit out of me. I thought Kenny just about got grabbed by a monster.
Oh, I just got some bad news.
Uh-oh.
Yes. It says here, this is from the folks at From Publicity. It says, we understand Doug Hughes has been receiving press requests related to his involvement in season 4 of From. Per MGM Plus studio policy, only series regulars are able to participate in press. That said, we kindly ask that Doug does not complete any interviews at this time.
Well, I'm so sorry, sir.
So, well, it's a bit late as far as this one goes, but that's really a drag. That's
thank you, sir.
Now, see, that's really interesting because they never said anything. My agent reached out to them after last season, and all they said at the time, they sent back an email and said, if anyone requests for interviews, please have them contact Publicity. And so this season, I've been giving everybody the email address that they gave me if they wanted to do an interview. And everybody that wrote to them said, we never heard back from them. So, you know, it was like, okay, what's up with that? You know, that this is what they told me to do, and nobody's giving us any feedback until now. So, oh well.
Well,
we're happy
we will
we-
try to stay in contact, I guess, through the publicity. Hopefully they will, reach out, because I know a lot of people did. I know that's how Dana was trying to do it originally.
Yep.
And I don't think we ever heard back from them.
Nope.
No, nobody did. So
Yeah, and just know though, anything else you do, even in the future, you have a family here.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't say anything about me showing up in the chat.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Hey, we love a good
That's
loophole.
not doing an interview. That's just, so whatever.
Loophole.
And again, you have everybody's contact information. It's we don't have to do it. Ain't about to. We just want to be together and hang out and talk
Yes,
with you,
we
with everybody.
love having fun with you.
Look, there's Discords.
Yes.
You didn't hear that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Find a way.
Qualify as an interview or not, but
Well, because it will be on like they would never. We'll talk about it later.
But thank you, Doug. We appreciate the time that you've given us, the love that you've shown us.
The whole community, man. Honestly, if it wasn't for folks like you in the cast that do actually reach out and actively interact with the fandom, they wouldn't have much publicity at all. So you are a treasure.
Yes.
And that's the part that kind of mystifies me about this, because this is only publicity for the show, like it's I
wonder why it's just all of a sudden, because I know you've been on several other ones. I mean, it's not just us, you've been all over the place since before even the season started.
I did a whole ton of them at the end of season 3, and nothing was said about that. I mean, I don't know how much MGM pays attention to these kinds of interviews anyway. The fact that it's taken them this long to become aware of the fact that I'm doing them is interesting.
I know. I was like, it's a little late, right? I'm like, well, people are like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but
thank you, man. And again, we'll still be in touch. Like I said, there's always other ways to communicate. We will find a way.
Like I said, there's nothing stopping me from coming on and listening to you guys. So I certainly intend to keep doing that,
And you're a fan. So if there's anything else that you ever watch that we cover, you're more than welcome to join us just as a panel guest for any shows that we cover that you watch and want to enjoy them with us, because we cover so many different shows.
Well, there's not much else that I'm watching right now, but if that happens, absolutely, I'd be happy to.
We can send you, if you want to see some stuff, we have lists. We can keep you very busy and recommend some goodies.
Well, that's the problem. I watch too much TV already as it is, but it's all the wrong kind of TV.
Don't we all? But no, seriously, Doug, thank you so much for giving us the time, just giving us any attention whatsoever, because we are a smaller channel. We are not as big as some of the other ones. And even if I were to attempt to reach out to probably the other, I'm who is this lady? Who is this girl? Who is she? So just the fact that you acknowledge me, I appreciate it more than you know.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sorry we're not going to get to do this anymore. That's really disappointing, but
it is.
Well, if you ever figure it out and you're allowed again, you call us.
Yes, and we'll see. Maybe we'll keep reaching out, and hopefully they'll let you come back out into the wild with us.
Well, like I say, there's nothing stopping me from coming on and listening to you guys, so I will certainly keep doing that.
We appreciate you, Doug.
Oh,
I know. Bitter. Oh God, that sucks. Dang it! And we were having such a good time.
Indeed.
Fun.
Right.
But thank you again, sir.
Yes,
have a great night, and we will look forward to you in the chat and on screen, hopefully, real soon this season.
All right. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and see everybody in the chat. Hopefully, it won't be too far in the future.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, Mr. Doug. We love you.
Take care.
Bye.
Love you, Doug.
Oh man. Well, guys,
that is messed up.
I know.
That is messed up. Well, you know what?
Dang it, how do you have to get in trouble, man? We was all having a good time. Damn it. I want to talk shit about MGM now.
I do too. Like, that's lame. Only the series regulars get to do it. Like, I'm sorry, he's a main cast, whether they want to admit it or not. Whether he's on screen for 5 seconds or 50 hours.
Right, she was watching. I know, right? Riggers, God damn it! They rigged the games on us, Dana. How dare they?
They did.
I mean, I
Right in
I
the streets.
understand it, but it still sucks.
Damn it!
It's not fair.
Damn it, MGM, you fucked up the whole mood, man. We was chilling. He was gonna vibe longer. We was about to get into some.
And
more...
it's not like he's revealing anything. He obviously knows how to handle himself and handle questions and handle all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, Vic. I blame Jim. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's funny.
This is all Jim's fault. Yep. Him and his blanket. Damn it.
God damn it, Jim. Why did you have to go telling our secrets?
Right.
Knowledge comes out of college, people. It's so real. It's like real life knowledge. But we didn't even get real knowledge. We just got, behind the, well, I guess we got behind the scene knowledge a little bit. But was that not okay? Is that forbidden? Verboten?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand MGM. You're not marketing this show. You're not out there really, like, okay, I've seen the people floating around on a handful of channels, but it's like, I don't know. That's
sorry.
Vic is I can hear Vic now. I hear Vic right now. He is
like Sean's jumped on board too.
You know what? I'm gonna protest at MGM.
Well, could they at least let whoever the publicity people at least reach out to somebody? I mean, dang it, we try to do it the right way, Dave.
Right.
We did it. Now they mad at us.
You have actors league like in the community boosting the show up, so it's like, wow. Like, thank you, Doug. I just want to say thank you because I just came back, of course.
You got your food. You got your bits. But see, TCP says, damn, they did it on 421. 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. Or for 21. Yeah, 4 to 7. But maybe. I mean, I was hoping we could get somewhere between a 4 and a 7, but no, but that it. I mean, that sucks for the whole community all around. That just totally dampened the mood. But we will fight. You know what, Dana? I will find a loophole. We'll still get to hang out with him. It's no worries. We'll figure it out, and I'm sure it'll get worked out, and hopefully we'll be
right. And when the season's over, we will make sure we're going to promote the hell out of Doug, not the show, not any. We are going to promote Doug.
Right.
And I get it, them being worried about spoilers, and he is a very intricate character, and I hope it wasn't this particular thing. They was watching us because I was asking. We weren't asking him. We was asking in general. He didn't have to answer anything. He did very good. Dang it. Well, folks, that's okay. Because he's still in our hearts and souls, and you guys, he's on Instagram. He's out there. He'll be hanging out in the chats. So he'll still be part of us. They can't break us. MGM.
I shouldn't have asked about the suitcase.
I know. I shouldn't have asked about the other bits. I feel bad now.
Right?
Yeah, but I agree. I think it's the spoilers. They worried about, that, but it's understandable, coming from TV.
And I get it because they're trying to control their press as well.
That is, but that's unfair to him too.
That is unfair. That is unfair.
Saying only the main cast gets to do interviews and everything. Like I don't know, like that's not right either.
I understand both ends, but
he should be considered just as much as everybody else.
Right. The man in yellow plays a very, very important part in this whole scenario we got going. So I consider him a main character. I guess I do wrong.
Too.
Or at least they could have, because if they haven't really reached, if he knows that all these folks have reached out to him trying to get him, and he's done what they asked him to do, and then they're just refusing to allow him to do any press. That does suck for him. Because he does want to interact with the fandom. But I guess we will just have to
talk
wait
about
and see.
suspense when he said, "I just got bad news." I mean,
I know. I
I
was
didn't know
like,
what the hell was about to
I
happen.
mean, neither. Jesus.
I was like, God, we got in trouble. I was like, who's in trouble? What did we do today? I didn't do it.
It's a mole in the Fromily.
We were talking about Clara too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. See, we was sussing out the characters now. I mean, and again, it is curious that it took him this long to even reach out to him about it, but we'll have to wait and see what happens next. I'm sure he'll talk to his agent. I mean, I'm sure he'll have some conversations. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe they'll get it worked out and he'll be able to come back on some panels, whether it's ours or just in general, anybody's, you know, because it's so fun to hear him talk about the show, whether whoever's panel it is, you know, just for him to be able to get back out there so he has some interaction with the fandom that he's come to love. I mean, come on, man, let the man mingle a little bit. You're just mingling, right? We're just mingling. It's fine. But again, the episode though, it was really good. He had a great performance in it. Sophia had a great performance in it. And again, just the seeing how broken down our characters are getting to, like what even Kitty was like, no, what fuck? You mean the one we burned? No. I feel like they just like a Tabitha moment. No. I was messed up.
Yeah, it was creepy when Smiley was like, "Hey, Kenny."
Dude, he fucking. Oh, and what was he wearing? Was that the same shirt? All right, so do y'all remember in the trailer when we see a little boy and was he wearing jeans? Was the little boy wearing jeans and a button up? I gotta go back and look at my file. Hang on. Because I was curious about that. The way he was popping up like that. I don't know why I thought it the little boy that Jade sees. Even though it's not the same, but I was like, what the fuck? Oh, I gotta go back and compare that. What was that little boy wearing? No, it's not Smiley, but what if they can change for you? Change you to a little boy. I don't know what the rules are anymore. Shit. I just remember the little boy had did he have like a light colored button up?
He had on like a short sleeve polo
short
shirt.
Sleeve? Okay,
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah,
remember.
like
I
a
don't know
short
why
sleeve
when I
polo
seen that it
shirt.
made me think of the little boy.
With a long black hair.
I know it wasn't Smiley, but it was just something about when he was standing there. It made me think of that scene in the trailer, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck?" It made me
I think the
guess
second
myself.
episode is going to be better than the first episode. That's. I mean, honestly, I think
It may be. I mean, this one was really good for an opener. Like how much they packed into it to kind of set up the season. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I'm actually trying to go back. I'm going in my folder to see. I was trying to remember what that little boy was wearing, because I don't know why it just stuck out to my brain. And I was like, "What in the hell?" But there was a lot of good dialogue in this episode.
The residents have to worry about giant, enormous scarecrows. The man in yellow shape-shifting into anyone he wants.
Mm-hmm.
The monsters you unalive can come back, through one of the residents. It's getting cuckoo in these From streets. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, I'm saying, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Like, I knew we didn't know the rules, but my God, are they changing them or adding to them? I guess it's not so much changing as it is we're adding to the bits. I was trying to find why is that little picture of the little boy so hard for me to find? Because it's such a quick little bit in the trailer. I can't find it. Oh man. But no, I am curious to see it because Smiley didn't seem too keen to go running after him, so he's toying with him. Is he gonna come back and play with Kenny some more this season? He gonna come knocking on Kenny's door? Kenny, I'm back. Oh, okay, yeah, it was short sleeves, and I think he was. But yeah, I was like, damn, I don't know why that made me think of that little boy. As blue shirt and shorts. So But no, I feel for Mr. Kenny here because I think he might get to play with Smiley some more. You don't have a good time, Mr. Smiley.
No.
And he double timed it up them fucking steps. I still found that shit so comical. Before Miss Sarah, I can't wait to see how she handles herself now with all the new bits. She's been very helpful in some ways. I'm assuming she's going to be staying at Colony House. I'm assuming that. So yeah, is she going to be able to go talk to Elgin? You guys think she'll go in there and be like, Elgin, I'm sorry, I had to do what I had to do. What do you guys think?
Team Sarah.
Yeah,
She
not
did,
sure
though. I mean,
she's gonna talk to Elgin.
yeah, I think she's going to talk to him and explain to him why she did it, and that she didn't want to, but she had to. But I don't think it's going to change like how Sarah feels towards Elgin, or Elgin feels to how he feels towards Sarah. I don't think it's going to change anything. Both of them felt like they had to do something in order to go home. So I think their relationship will be still steady.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is my opinion. I don't think it's going to change.
Right. Well, I'm curious to see though, because it does show her later in the trailer with Sophia. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe she'll get Elgin to understand, because he was still talking to Christy like, "Hey, it's gonna work out. We're good. Fatima's back, right? We're good." She's like, "Nah, version of this that's gonna work out for you there." So yeah, I'm curious to see if they're gonna have a conversation. And she's evolved herself, Miss Sarah, into quite a I mean, yeah, she's
What
a
I'm
monster,
what I
but I don't
see
want to
what I
call her a
see
monster
reckoning.
because
I see
that
Fatima
first
getting
time.
more grit than Sarah, because people still don't know that
Well, no,
she
yeah,
was the
Sarah's
one that
already been
unalived
through
Billy.
the crazy bits. Like she's already been
People
through the
know that
trauma
Sarah killed,
of
unalived
right.
her
That's what I'm
brother.
saying. She's already been
Yeah.
through all that, and now she understands what this place is, and she's a little bit. I mean, she's still willing to do bad things, but I don't think she's as manipulated anymore as she once was. But yeah, Fatima's about to go a little crazy, possibly. Just a tiny, tiny bit. I mean, can you blame her? Hey, where's she at later? Did I go too far? But here it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, she ain't happy, baby. And then she gets it. I mean, the fact that, like I said, when she goes into the shower too, later, and she's just in there. I'm trying to find it. Actually, I got so many screenshots. But when she's in there, actually in the shower, taking a shower, but she's still in her clothes, and she's basically trying to process everything that has happened. Can you even imagine? Like, and she feels like that quickness of how she felt, almost like responsible, or because she's the one that gave birth to this thing, and then switching that anger back onto the group. Yeah, she might have some. She need a little therapy this season, a little tiny bit.
Just a smidge. That's why I think it's in her best interest to go out there and smash some shit.
And like, it seems as though she will, perhaps, after she goes through like pottery class with the mud.
Right?
And yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. She definitely got Tilly. And I know like the way I remember it, or the way I read the scene, is that she really didn't even have full control over that. That was still part of the baby kind of doing its bits and kind of taking over her body a little bit. But it is possible that she just, hormonally raged out on her.
But also on top of it, she was under the impression she could not have children. And to have to go through that process, knowing in the end now what it really was, that is like triple, quadruple traumatic on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Super.
Like there's an added extra fuckery with that. Like they could have picked anybody. There was other females that could have.
Oh yeah, there was just
given birth.
background characters, which I know you don't want to use a
That was
background
the whole
character,
point.
but
Everything is predetermined. Everything is predetermined.
So
Ellis
fuck
falling
it,
in love
something
with
like that.
Fatima is predetermined. Ellis
Right.
being Boyd's son plays a part in all of this. That Fatima getting pregnant only to rebirth and Smiley was always part of the plan.
right. And the way the Man in Yellow or Sophia talks about things now, it calls into question how much do we know that is true in the story, all these kind of things now, right? Because if all this is just about these characters suffering and causing chaos or causing them to rip each other apart, that's why Tabitha's even questioning it now, right? Like, even though she doesn't know what the Man in Yellow has said, just her own experience with this place now is like, she's like, yeah, I know what I felt, but how do I know that's real? How do I know any of this is real? Like, what is more likely? Is this place just fucking with us? So she's starting to go down the Christopher path of everything is just lying to us. And Fatima is definitely going to be, she's already questioning the group. She's questioning herself. Seeing the rage that's going to come from her possibly later down the season from the trailer. She's going to, I would want answers. Can you imagine when they all find out Sophia is what she is too? Or if Fatima sees Smiley, like all these bits, right? Like at some point, if Smiley's back, he's back now. Ain't no question. He's putting his clothes back on. He's getting cleaned up. He comes popping back in town. That's another layer on top of a reminder to Fatima and to Boyd, like to all of them, right? In different ways. I mean, for Boyd and them, it's like, okay, we couldn't kill it, but Fatima, like, she gave birth to that thing. Imagine him coming and knocking on her door. Oh my God, I would be starting to break stuff too, Dana.
No, it's true,
Now,
but
this is what I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I should have asked Doug. Well, I'm pretty sure he couldn't have answered it, but you remember when she went to the clinic to get the ultrasound and there was nothing there.
Right.
I wonder if he played a role in that.
And it could have. He could have been hiding it from them so they couldn't see exactly what was inside of her. Or who the hell even knows? Like, because, again, it's a mystery. Like, the whole pregnancy is a mystery. When she truly got tapped. Right? Like, I don't think we really, Christy gives like a roundabout date, but it's not like she did a good, she can only do so much of makeup for her. Like, she couldn't do a workup on her other than maybe like a urine sample. If they had like a pee test kind of deal, they had a stick that she could pee on. Otherwise, I don't know how she would have determined that she was pregnant in the first place. Which doesn't do anything. There's no way for them to know exactly when she got hit other than the moment that test was taken. They know, like, okay, you're pregnant at that point, but we don't know exactly when she got pegged. Was it because Smiley wasn't even, like, she was already pregnant when she was talking to Christy about it. That was the same night Smiley died, and she had already thought she was pregnant. So if she was already starting to cook up a baby inside of her, Smiley wasn't even gone yet. So that goes into a whole bunch of other questions. But she's going to have some bits to get through. They are figuring out the talismans don't truly protect them. Yeah. If the monsters were fucking with them the whole time, Dane, on them talismans, that's... Oh, we don't know anything. That's messed up.
Yes.
God, your mom was right. This is some evilness. Like, she knows what the hell's going on. And you got poor Kitty here trying to don't go touching the talismans and, talking about how evil this place is. And this bitch is like, the light shines in the darkness and shit. And the darkness shall not overcome. Yeah, she's like, yeah, that's just, it's a Bible verse. Again, the Man in Yellow seems to know his verses very well. Interesting.
Well, I'm almost.
Is she mocking God, or she is God? She's listening. She's
Right.
listening to your prayer, Kitty.
I'm almost more convinced now than I've ever been that Cycle's definitely definitely are coming into play, because especially now that the man in yellow has hinted a few times about the story, it's like the man in yellow, like he almost knew that this was the point. This is the point of the story where he always comes in. He always gets to mess with things. This is what he always gets to do. So, like you said, baby Clay, the fact that all of this seems to be predetermined. If the stories were written, the characters are doing what the characters are supposed to do. I think the way to break it is somebody is going to have to not follow the traditional story.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that is that maybe Tabitha and Jade aren't supposed to save the children. Maybe, Julie is supposed to go back and save something, do something that's going to be different. I don't know. But I'm starting to agree with a lot more that there's some kind of cycles at play here for sure.
I mean, it's just what they showing. If Tabitha equals Miranda, Jade equals Christopher, then I wonder who else equals another person from the past.
Right. And I
You know,
wonder in how many of those cycles has a child been left over.
I was
So
just about to say that. I wonder how
we
many
had
victors
Victor.
has there been.
Yes, and there's always one like left over, and it might always be a child to
Yeah.
then grow up and go through the same cycle of everything that they're doing.
Right.
Hence why maybe you're right, baby Clay. Maybe Boyd is the next iteration of the man in yellow. Or something, maybe if
Yeah.
not the man in yellow, another monster, another Kimon. And I'm not saying the same. I'm just saying the next monster to be born of this place. Like maybe
Right.
every cycle there is a new monster that comes into play. But the man in yellow, just this is the moment. That's why he was like what Jerry said. He was laughing at the suitcase. This is his enjoyment. This is the time he gets to take center stage. He gets to come in and be part of the story. Let's say. So this is
Yeah.
his moment, and that's why it's his favorite part, because he gets to be involved in it. So we're going through, and I think the point is going to be somebody's going to have to do something different. Somebody's going to have to change that story, even if it's
Believe me, y'all.
even if it's not Julie per
No, go ahead.
se. But I really
Mhm.
think the story has to be changed in order to stop the cycle.
I mean, I go by what they give us, what they have gave us so far. And I just don't go with that theory that Boyd could be the next archetype of the man in yellow because he always has on a yellow button-up shirt. Now that was just a piece of the theory. But if you look at how it's okay, we're in season 4 and there's still some information that Kenny does not know. Kenny does not know that Fatima unalived Tilly. That's one. And number 2 is that this is the first time in this episode when something has happened. This is immediate conversation between Boyd, Donna, and other residents. This is the first time they've actually experienced a problem and then have some sort of meeting right after it. I always say, Boyd, they have a lot of motivation, but they don't have a lot of discussion. While he's given a lot of motivation, they're not actually discussing the problems of this town, and that always strikes me as I understand being a leader, you would have to keep some information away from people because you don't want them to get in scrambles and start, losing hope, getting
Right.
scared. So I understand that. But Fatima unaliving Tilly, you hiding her, and now you're torturing Elgin for hiding her, that's the most hypocritical thing you could have done. And so I look at
Well, I
Boyd's
think it was
actions
more than that, though,
equaling
right?
to man in
Because
yellow.
Sarah
Yeah.
came to Boyd and said, "Hey, are y'all looking for?" Because they were looking for Fatima. They didn't know what happened to her. It wasn't until later, like they knew that it had taken her. That I think it kind of drove Boyd because of what it told Sarah and what Sarah relayed to Boyd of how like y'all will not find her in time. drove him to do what he did to Elgin. Because he knew, like, if we don't get the answer, like, because Elgin's like, no, I can't tell you. And he's like, if you don't give it to, like, he was so worried of what was going to happen to Fatima that he was like, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do in order to save her. In his eyes, that's the way I portrayed it. Because I don't think he would ever, like, if Elgin was like, oh no, I don't know. Because something about her being taken like that and him knowing that there was something, because I know that Boyd knew something was wrong with her. He knew when the Tilly thing happened, that's not normal. Fatima would never just go out there and just murder somebody. He knew something was wrong with her. I think there was even conversations with Donna about it. Like, that's why she couldn't stay there. Like, there's something's not right. At that point, they knew something wasn't right. And then, of course, Elgin comes and gets her and takes her down to the cellar. But yeah, when Sarah told him that, he was like, no, we gotta, it's game on. We got like the whole town looking, everything.
Yeah. I mean, it may be too late as far as in the story, but, you know, as a town and as Boyd trying to protect the town, it does seem like, okay, there's voices talking to Sarah that caused her to unalive her brother. There's voices talking to Elgin that made him not tell us where Fatima was, to the point Sarah had to cut his eye out. So it almost seems like he would call a town meeting. Hey, if any of you guys hear a voice in your head that says you do this and we can get out of here, come talk to me, you know, or don't listen to it or something, you know, like the manipulation there. It almost seems like they should be more open that that's happening and realize it, because it, you know, whatever happened to Elgin and Sarah could easily happen to anybody else, say Acosta or just anybody, you know, tomorrow, right? They could go through the same thing again tomorrow if they need to be more open about it.
Mm-hmm. And this thing does kind of seem to prey on the fact that it doesn't want them to share knowledge to a degree. Because that's why, he said, I can't come in my form now because of the knowledge they've gained, so I have to change it up a little bit. So yeah, they do prey on that fact. And then, of course, now, like you said, you would think at this point, that's why I was kind of happy that Boyd, in his own kind of way, was like, hey, Christy, you need to come up here. Like, everybody, that's what he sees is important to the town, I guess, that was there, to kind of come up and be like, hey, everybody needs to kind of be on the same page with this story. Almost he was getting ready to kind of really start to open up to more people. Like, okay, I'm open up to you guys, and then hopefully the rest of the town can come around in some way. But does that also mean that, are they still worried though, if they tell too many people, that it causes some panic in some way? Like, somebody says they had a dream or something, and like, does them knowing that this stuff is going on going to cause more of a panic or less of a panic? Like, I don't know, because it depends on how they play. Because the town freaked out over food. They was flipping the hell out, storming Tian Chin's the diner. And they're like, there's voices cut, and then they freaked out with the nightmare stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like a 50-50.
Right.
Maybe half the town should know. That is a good thought, though, James. Like, how many of you guys should we tell everybody? Should they all be on the up and up? Are we gonna get another one like, what was that dude? Oh, that shot Boyd. He freaked the hell out for sure.
I forget his name. Oh God.
I know, I can't remember his name now.
I can't either.
And Sarah got the last laugh. No, I'm just kidding. That's me. Let's see. Vic says he's the sheriff. Isn't that a position of power? He's taking guns away and giving orders. People listen. And yeah, so am me. Oh, and that was, speaking of guns, that was a funny moment too. Oh, I almost forgot. But I'm glad you said that, Vic, because it reminded me of our Lady Acosta here. Oh, is it this moment here? Now I gotta go back further. When they first pop into the room with her, and she points the gun at Christy, and I think Donna's like, would you get that thing down? Everybody knows there ain't like anything. Fucking, there's no bullets in the gun. Everybody already knows that. You put that shit away. You know, because Acosta, she's kind of freaking out in this moment still. She doesn't know what the fuck to think. It's her kid. where does her training take her to? Quick Draw. It didn't work out last time. She was going to shoot. I mean, did he have any? You imagine she still had guns in that bullet, Dana?
Right.
She'd have taken out Christy. Then she'd be like, "Oh, victim me," and it's like
I'm sorry. Christy should have taken her crutch and just would have been like, "Bitch, please get out of here with your all high and mighty protecting out. Like, stop. You don't know what the fuck is going on here. You like just fucking got here." And you want to call people a fucking monster? You last 5 minutes outside with those real monsters, and then let's see who you're calling a fucking monster. You don't know. You obviously saw what they did to your little EMT buddies. You saw what they did to fucking Randall's face. I mean, come on. Like, you have no idea what's going. So to judge anybody, but it's like the situation is fucked up as it is because we don't know what Boyd would have done had it been anybody but Fatima in that place. We don't know if Boyd would have reacted the same way. We just don't. So it's like, is Boyd a monster? I don't know. I don't know if that justifies just because this is not a normal situation. They're not out in the real world and he's just chasing down a bad guy and, you know, certain rules apply. This is a no holds fucking barred situation. Elgin wasn't going to give up the goods and you're like, this is the situation that I'm sorry. You got your eyeball played with. I don't know what to tell you.
And Reggie, yes, thank you, Phil Chill. Reggie was the guy that got shot Boyd.
Like, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, Elgin. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
You know, I look over there at that empty spot where Doug used to be, and I feel so sad.
I know. Look, I left it there just so I didn't want to just like, you know, change it back like he was just gone.
Yeah, I know. It's just
because I almost clicked the thing where, you know, it changes the layout and then I change it back and we all kind of reposition. It fills the holes in, and then I didn't do it.
In memory of Doug.
Right, he'll be back. We'll have him on after the season if they're really gonna block him like that from doing stuff, which is utterly disgusting to hear, and I'm very disappointed in MGM. I'm very disappointed in general.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like we talked about,
yeah, no, I don't want to get him in trouble either. That's why I'm like, oh,
he may not come back because of Sophia or whatever, but you know, and he may not be in season 5. But if he is, they may block him, you know, all the way through even season 5. Because I did hear Julia say in an interview that she does go through season. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't know if I should say that, but it was in an interview that she said she will be all the way through season 10.
Wait, what?
Season 10.
I mean, episode 10.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I was doing math.
I was like, wait, what a minute. Did I hear
Sorry.
that right? My brain. I'm like, oh, God, you got me there, James. I'm like, wait. Did they fool us with the final season 5? We're going to get Nancy? Oh, shit.
Wordy fubs.
Yeah, it's fine. I do it all the time.
No, they
you got me, though. I was about to get excited. I was like, wait, I thought we confirmed other things. What?
They just did Doug really, really dirty, if that's the case. And he's out there like giving from like recognition. He's coming out as also a fan. Like very sad, MGM. Very, very sad. If you are listening, very, very disappointed.
But we won't let it break us. We won't let it stop us from you try to still enjoy, because again, there's still so much with the episode, and I do want to see what's up with the magical case and how it was all pristine. Because again, I can't imagine water and dirt and stuff couldn't have got it. Because again, it wasn't buried that deep. I know you're saying it still had it kind of deep. It was still kind of like a shallow grave, though. I mean, it was like pressed, right?
Yeah, magic.
So I can't wait to see how that works, and if the other suitcases or trunks that are down sort of in the dungeon, or the dungeons, in the caves. See, James, I can't word either.
Because you gotta think, you know, if this is Cycles and they've played this game before or these parts before, and it's, you know, maybe not the same game exactly, but close, you know, the same things happen or whatever. If that's true, he couldn't have been I guess he could have been a preacher's daughter all the way back to the second cycle, you know, the 2nd time they played the game or something. But I don't know, you know, those clothes had to get in there somehow. And it's the whole setup of, okay, I need to be a preacher's daughter. There's going to be a preacher coming into town and, you know, that kind of thing. So, and him not answering the question about the suitcase, I think it will be revealed. That tells me that there's more to it. And
that's why we got him in trouble. Damn it. I'm sorry. Fuck. I didn't.
know.
Oh no.
I shouldn't ask him about it.
Oh fuck's sakes.
But
blame it on
yeah.
me. See, I told y'all not to let that redhead in here. Damn it. James, you're
No, it's me. I'm bad luck, apparently.
no. Oh God. I'm taking a shot now, damn it. They have driven me just like the townies of From to liquor that I can't even open. God damn it, I hate these screw caps. It's worse is if you have a bottle in front of you, Dana, and it was the last drink you could ever have before you get ripped apart. You can't even open it.
Can't get it open.
That's rigor shit. A rigor night of all rigorness. I really can't get this thing open.
It's like having a blunt. It's like having a blunt with no match.
Right? Now that's hell. now that's a hell I can
trying to like get a damn pair of glasses like or something to light that shit with the sun rays or something like.
I got my last fucking rolling paper.
I'm pouring my 99s. It's cherry limeade for Mr. Doug, the best villain of all times. Now they try to take him away from us, but he'll live forever in our hearts.
Yes, he will.
Cheers, you, Mr. Doug, being the greatest to the fandom. We love you.
Yes.
Oh, it burns just as bad as what MGM did.
What flavor was that one?
Cherry limeade.
Oh. Can you taste the alcohol?
Yeah, the cherry and slightly lime flavor come at the end. You mostly taste burn. And burn. It still burns. Like, you know, the inside of your cheeks are warm.
Damn.
And I don't mean the cheeks that we saw from the man in yellow.
Right.
See, Susie says, I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger juicy haze. Oh, shit. I've been hearing about them Voodoo Rangers. I hear they make you crazy. Kind of like the Four Locos. I have not had one, but I've watched Bert Peanut, who does some gaming and stuff like that. They talk about some Voodoo Rangers over there. Are they good? Or do they hurt you the next day? All the cheeks. Mine are still nice and warm. It warm you up though. Hey, Riggers, all of them. Damn it, where's Great Gold? He would have loved a good rant right about now, and I would, but I don't want to fuck up any future bits. But again, there were so many things that they went through on the episode, and one thing that they went back to was the 4-7. Again, this I took from what was that, season 2, season 3? No, season 2, because that was, it was still season 2. When they're in the RV and Abby pops in, but they get the flashy flash, and Randall's like, what the fuck? And we get like the melody coming through with the 4-7. Again, what is the significance of that? Is it just the number of townies, like it always has to have 4-7, or is that just another marker indicator of something else? I know folks have since season 1, season 2. No, since we joined in like Jeremy's and stuff with Robert and everybody, that 4-7 has been broken down in like 20 different ways.
Yeah.
And I still have no answer.
I wonder if Tilly, you know, when Tilly said it about her grandchildren and stuff, kids and grandchildren, you know, people think either maybe Tilly was the man in yellow, or maybe the whole town is a version of one of the original townspeople, and there were 47 people in the original town. So each cycle would have 47 people. I wonder if that's the thing, and is that a clue that Tilly is suspicious because she said that?
Right.
Maybe even
Like again, like yeah, why make a character say that specific kind of number sequence with it now being like it's been referred to several times? So is she the man in yellow? Was she the man in yellow kind of hitchhiked on the bus talking about, oh, I just, I'm going to ponies and I've already made peace with my life. Here, Marielle, let me give you some drugs to help you out.
Well, if she was the man in yellow, let's just run with that for a second. If she was the man in yellow and she needed to exit the scene to do something else, so thus Fatima unalived her. Okay, so now Tilly doesn't have to be there because the man in yellow is can't be in, say, two places at one time. He's got to go do something else. So he needs Tilly out of the way. That's part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
What could the next thing have been that he became?
See, and I'm not sure. And actually just really thinking about it, the way he worded it, saying I can't come to them in my forum because they know they have too much knowledge or something along the lines. He probably hasn't popped up as another character, but it is fun to think about what character, because I'm thinking about Boschka now. I've been kind of like, where the hell, like we didn't see anything from her. They had all kinds of townies out there with the car crash, and I can't remember, she wasn't at the diner, so we haven't seen Boschka anymore, as if she's just kind of disappeared, which I know it's just the first episode. But I know Baby Clay, we were talking about it, what, Discord or something, I forget, before stream. And trying to figure out, like, well, okay, if she's coming in on this car, or him, her, it, oh shit, Sophia / Man in Yellow is coming in on this particular arrival in the way that he did, and we don't know how far his reach is. Is it possible for him to have, like, came in on this bus in some form? Even, and I know it's crazy because we see him at the town get into the rival after the tree, but they don't really show us whether or not they stopped before the tree, after the tree. They just kind of, Elgin's like, yeah, we drove in, we found the tree, and then we kind of came into town. I am curious to see if he has any reach outside of the town to be able to enter with an arrival on the bus, perhaps, because that was something, again, Baby Clay and I were talking about. Baby Clay was mentioning that he's going to look into the bus a little bit more to track the characters. And there was what was the other one, Baby Clay, the guy that with the jacket,
the guy that got
away.
Stuck in the house. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. What you
we
say?
were trying to also track the epilepsy seizures and stuff like that too. Like who would have touched Elgin that would have been on the bus. Not that it probably don't go nowhere. We just, thinking about nothing for nothing. But it is curious to think if the man, like, was the man in yellow trapped as perhaps, like, I think Martin, and he wasn't truly released until Boyd brought him back, or was he always not just in a sort of telekinesis or psychic kind of ghost form or whatever, like an astral projection or something? Was he always sort of there? Because I know he was there in the sense that I feel like he brought the house down with the radio signal. But prior to that, has he been popping around, or has he just kind of, I mean, I don't know. There's so many things now to theory craft on with him that it's hard to say.
Honestly,
I'm rambling.
There's no telling how long Sophia is going to have on this outfit.
Right, yeah, we don't even know. Like, because he could be. Could you imagine if he changes into another person, like, just to fuck with him?
This is what I'm saying.
Somebody that's already there.
We have to pay attention to the people that have on the same outfits every other episode. See, Elgin has changed. Jim changed outfits. Tabitha has changed. Clara has never changed.
I thought it was Claire from as soon as we saw her pop in and we see the man in yellow shapeshift.
And when
I was like, Clara.
Suitcase. Yeah, I mean, he has on one outfit. He only has one outfit in these suitcases. He doesn't have multiple. There's little clues like that shows me that, for one, this is planned, like James said. This is all planned through from head to toe. And secondly, there's no other outfit in that suitcase. So it's like he chooses a specific wardrobe for who he's pulling into town. Like he poured in, I think honestly, he poured in this priest. I don't think the priest just stumbled across, from land. I think he actually
Right.
pulled him in, and he had this suitcase with this wardrobe in it just in case it went down and his plan went through. And that's exactly what happened. He has one outfit, no other outfits. If Sophia has on this outfit for more than 5 episodes, there's no telling who this man could have been. There's like literally. He could have been Clara the whole time, but like I said, he could have been Bacta, because Bacta had on her bus driver's uniform for a while. That's what we was talking about, Scarlett, of how he could have been Bacta driving people into town.
Right. Yeah, because that would have been even crazier because the bus itself is curious, right, baby? The fact that so many of those characters are crucial to the story in some way, but yet they seem to kind of all have this different way of which they got to this particular moment in which From kind of brought them in. So yeah, Bacta was looked at, and I want to say welcome to the King of Crank. And we got, and I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's bits. Tam King, I apologize, but welcome, Susie. What happened? Oh, what happened to Susie? Who's selling out?
She's asking what happened to Doug, about Doug and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I'm sure we'll find out. Hopefully, he's still out there. It's not that you can't get in contact with him. He's just, it seems as if they don't want him. Because again, and I kind of see it. I understand where they're coming from to a degree. I wish there would have been more communication that he would have received, so he would have been able to navigate this season a little bit better. Or rather, they would have even reached out to the people who would like to have interviewed him a little bit better. But it's what it is, and we will make do.
Yeah, a series regular is someone who's on the show pretty much all season, and it does look like that Sophia will be, and the Manignette or Doug won't be. So that's what constitutes series regular. If you're just on an episode here and there, you may be classified as a guest, but if you're just in one scene or two, you may not even be classified as a guest even. But a series regular means the main cast, and it does look like Sophia is going to be that. So
right.
that's that, and MGM sets up those interviews. So the publicity side, sets up those interviews. Like a lot of them only gets 5 minutes or something. Sometimes you'll see them for 30 minutes or so, but they set those up with the main cast. And because they write the contracts and stuff, they are allowed to do that.
Yeah, and so like I said, obviously it was a misunderstanding or miscommunication. So hopefully he'll be able to work it out, and they'll allow him to come back up. But if not, and I get it, because this is his part in particular is very for him to be able to be so open with us, and he's been very good not to like divulge anything that would reveal his character or origins or anything like that. But I understand where they're coming from, regardless of whether it's that he did anything wrong or not. Not even that, just their caution behind his character. Because I know, like you said, we felt bad at some of the questions we asked, because it is hard, right? Like it's hard to not want to ask certain questions.
Yeah.
And they probably do want to make sure they have
and
the press.
He may play a big part in season 5, and Doug doesn't even know that yet. Right. So
they may, who knows? They've been very tight on their press, I guess. So to a degree, I know some folks have been out there. But then again, I don't know how they navigated that. I don't know if they had to go through the press department or whatever in order to get those interviews originally. And then maybe after they've become comfortable with that channel, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not as big of a deal. But I can imagine them wanting to make sure, because again, that's with anything, right? Like you want to make sure whatever your bits are going out on, you want to make sure it's something that you approve of, something that you want to be part of the collaboration and stuff like that. So that's their way of vetting, is by going through that process.
Yeah.
So I understand it, and again, it sucked that it happened on the stream like that. And that is very unfortunate. But he's not gone. He's on Instagram. He's going to be in the chat. He's going to be around, and hopefully we'll get to see him again in future episodes. I mean, we already pretty much knew that he's not going to be around for at least another episode or two.
And you never know. He could be, someone in the Discords. You don't know.
You never know. He could be under an alter ego.
Yes, he can.
Yeah. I have a thing I wanted to throw out to you guys. I don't know if you have the shot of it, Scarlett. It's not necessary to bring it up, but when Marielle is chained to the wall, it looks like in the clinic.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Sophia's shoulder there is standing before her. So now we know that would be the man in yellow standing before Marielle.
Right. And that's what I thought it was. It was Sophia. Yeah. So
it's like, is that, that's the cicada monster or music box monster thing, like we've been describing it. I still wonder what the connection is. Like, was the man in yellow always over like the ballerina and the cicadas and the worms and Martin and all of that? Or is it going to be a confrontation or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
or
that was another thing.
Is she triggering it?
And that was another thing too. And yeah, Dana, that's even a good point. The music box and what its full significance is. Again, I mean, you guys know where I'm kind of sitting with it now. I mean, I know I do waffle with theories. I go all over the place with my thoughts and ramble with them. But there was always something about Martin that stood out. Something about that whole situation between Boyd, Martin, the music box, and how they displayed the music box later in dreams. They displayed it with the phone call and Kenny's dream. And then to see that also in they got to hear the melody in the real world, not just Sarah hearing it, telepathically. They heard it in the RV with that 4-7. And then now we're seeing Marielle with this scene too. So if the man in yellow, the kimono lady, and all that is connected to this melody, and it's still, like you said, Dana, you called it. I didn't believe it at first. I thought, they fixed it. Once they woke up, that was the end of the story for the music box. It's closed out. They stopped and prevented whatever this thing was from fully entering into the town and and unleashing whatever horrors it was going to fully unleash. But that doesn't seem to be the case. The man in yellow is popping around. And if the man in yellow it has to have something to do with this thing. The kimono lady giving birth or being part of the birth of the entities. Fatima making it very clear that they made some deal with it. And they're insinuating that it is the man in yellow. There's a weird phone call with a male voice that we don't recognize to Kenny in a dream describing the melody. I don't know. There's something weird about all these bits. Like, how do all of these pieces, they're such random pieces, yet they have a piece that fits together with each one of those bits, that I feel like Jay talking to Tabitha in that scene at the bottle tree and how it just kind of like watered it. I don't know what it means, but there has to be something to it that we're not seeing. I'm sorry, Danny. Go ahead if you had any thoughts.
No. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm doing my husband's pills.
And thank you, Vic, for dropping the Discord links. Yeah, you guys definitely hop into the Discords. I didn't get to it yet this week, but if you guys want to pop into the Discord, the Fever Discord, and watch the episode just to hang out and dive into particular scenes of dialogue, especially with this episode, I'm down for it. I didn't get it scheduled in this week to do watch parties, but I'm always open to do it with you guys. We won't be able to do it the night the episode drops, but after the next day or so, we can definitely do that with you guys. I have no problem doing it. If you guys actually want to do that. So you just let us know. Join Discord and let us know what you guys want to do. And tonight's stream was totally last minute. So we did not plan for it, but we were so happy to hang out and talk with Mr. Doug. Oh my goodness, that shot is making me burp. I apologize. Let's see, and let me catch up with some of you guys. So the Key and Crank says, so is 4-7 the maximum cap for the town? Does he count since he planted himself, or should we expect another person for Tilly or Jim's death? Yeah, and that is another thing that is true. Is it just the cap for the town at all times? That it needs to have 47 people there, so either it brings more in, kills people off. That is very good question, and it's starting to look like there's always been sort of a cap on the number of people. I know we've tried to count them, and they've had a lot of extras in the background. We never really knew the full count of the town. But with them confirming 47 heads and the pastor possibly not making it through the night and the man in yellow being an extra, was the town, is it now at 4? It's now at 47 because he did not, I don't know if he counted Tilly with that when Kenny made that assumption or that count.
Yeah. And with Victor counting on his hands, he may not have been, but it seemed like he was.
Right, he was counting or something. That's what Baby Clay was saying.
Could have been, yeah. And me and Clay was talking about it. Maybe Victor realizes, wait a minute, something's off here. And that's why he wants to room, goes to the scene of him rooming with his dad. All of a sudden, like, the shit's fixing to hit the fan. So come stay with me, Dad, in my room, because we may need a bell like him and Julie did.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Like, I got to keep Dad close because things are about to pop off again. And let me actually bring those screenshots back up. Yeah. The look that Victor gave, definitely screamed like he was about to remember something or want to remember something. And I think, Baby Clay, you were talking about that as well, the counting of the fingers, or as if to me, just the pure look on his face.
It just seems like he was counting his fingers when he noticed it was 2 people in the car. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen. And he immediately noticed it. He's dragging his feet, trying to catch up to Ethan, and he's just looking around and counting like, no, something isn't right.
Right, because Julie leaves, like, once he comes up and he's kind of even pats Ethan on the shoulder a little bit because she leaves, is like, hey, stay with Victor.
That's why. That's the only reason why I found it kind of sketchy that him and Henry was moving in.
Oh yeah, because he seemed worried. Like, he had that look of like, okay, maybe he's going to remember something or something's triggering in him again. And then we see him later, kind of like super happy with Dad, as if nothing was wrong. But is there? Does he know? Because we know in the trailer he's going to end up going and digging for the picture. And if that trailer is supposed to be a lot of what happens within the first couple episodes, then I'm hoping that we're going to see him in the next episode, or if not the third episode, digging that up with Dad, since they're now, maybe he'll talk to Dad a little bit before they go there, and kind of how Tabitha helped him remember certain things or helped him to open up. Maybe Dad has a way of doing that as well, Henry. So I'm curious to see in the next episode what happens with Victor, or if it's, because again, we have a lot of threads going on, right? So what they all get to within episodes is going to be interesting to see. And they did surprisingly get to a lot of stuff in this episode, even though it didn't seem like it maybe at first. It was the little things. Even Jay, the way he's looking at Tabitha, like, and they have a slight conversation. Again, the setup for what's to come in the episodes between the two of them, Victor and his dad. And of course, we get Randall coming in with the boys to open up the car. So Randall, again, he's still staying forefront, working with Boyd. Even the way, like, him and Boyd, like, he's grabbing the stuff out of the ambulance and coming up with the gurney, and then hey, let's get a winch. Boyd's like, yeah, come on with it, let's go, we got this, let's do this. And they all kind of work together in this moment. My only problem with this scene, if I had to say anything, is I'm about tired of these looky-loo citizens in the background. What the fuck are they look at this, look at the fucking way he's looking. Mama, can you like help? At least Julie got the damn chain out to try to help and shit. Like, she's looking concerned, like, oh my god, he's just looking like, what the fuck is up with these looky-loos? Could they get the fuck out of the way? They wasn't helping for shit. Did they not have chores to do or something? I'm sorry.
They were just all looking like, oh my god, Look at the 15th car that has landed over here. They didn't. You're right. They didn't try to help or nothing.
Look at the way they
They
looking at it,
they
too.
didn't do shit.
Hey, Victor knows the man in yellow's favorite part, right? Victor knows. But yeah, they be looking, Lewin. Go milk a goat, right, Vic? Like, can y'all just go to fuck on? At least, like, most of the, even there was a person that was a background character that helped with the gurney and stuff, you know, and helped to go get the ambulance. Everybody else is fucking looky loo, and I couldn't, that about pissed me off. Yeah, finding the yellow suit is going to be interesting how they come across it. When they do, is it going to be after Victor finds the photo, before? I think it might be after, but it could very well be before. I'm honestly at 50-50 there on that one. Place your bets. Let's see if cell phones worked. He just be filming. Are we still talking about the man in yellow, possibly? Or Doug? Let's see. Anonymous. I'm gonna call you Anonymous now that we know. He'll fuck it up, Dana. More mouths to feed. They are wrecking the sheriff's. Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of that, that was interesting, right? Because when she finally tells the pastor, the preacher, whatever, and when she's like describing sort of what's going on, and she's like, "Oh yes, you were so kind, and I knew you did this. Oh, you were such a kind person." And man, she touched him, touched his fucking leg, and look at this face, Dana. And she beelined it for that fucking police station. And not only that, she hit the fucking box with the car. She tapped the box with it. Like she knew, he knew, it knew exactly what it was beelining for. But that was crazy. She had the most psycho face ever. And again, I love the attention to their monsters or bad guys having that smile, that creepy, almost Pleasantville, unnatural smile.
Yeah.
It's fun. Let's see if it says, I'm fixing to put a poll up in Scars. Who's where ethnic thinks it's good. Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys let us know who you guys think are going to die. I know we talked about that a little bit last night. And again, I think those folks on the chopping block this season, I would agree with like Ellis. I hate to say Donna. Even Elgin, because to be fair, he gave up information, right? So he might be on the chopping block as well. In other words, he's not going to have protection. I don't think he's going to have the same protection Sarah gets. But we'll have to see. I'm trying to think of who else do I think. I don't think any of the Matthews family.
I think Sarah's on the chopping block. Sorry, boys. But I think Sarah's on the chopping block.
I know we talked about this last night, but what do you guys, who else do you guys think? Oh, yeah, Henry's a good one, Bill. Any other picks that you guys have? Or
Marielle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is true. She may not make it. We'll see what happens with the man in yellow peeking around her corners and shit. As Sophia, while she's all strapped in. That's fucked up. Can you imagine that scene? Like Marielle is freaking the fuck out like Randall's been doing, and then, oh, let me prey upon you. Oh, poor child. Oh, the darkness. And this bitch knows exactly what the fuck is going on. Oh, evil. Your mama named it.
Oh,
Dana.
Bill, did I make you angry, Bill? Oh, I'm sorry about that. How is it like being angry?
Oh, damn. Red shirt Christy. Oh, Christy Fatima's on the chopping block. Randall. Okay, Kenny. Oh, yeah, Kenny would be a hit. Yeah, I'm kind of worried for Jade as well, mostly because of how we see him in the trailer. Even though because to be fair, as much plot armor as I want to say Tabitha and Jade have, to be fair, they're if we want to say they're reincarnated versions or past versions haven't made it through. It's possible. I mean, I guess because we don't really know how the story is supposed to finish. Is it possible that one of them don't make it? Right? I mean,
Very
like,
true.
in all honesty, because, like, with them questioning now the actual story itself with the children, whatever the answer is, it is possible that one of them don't make it. I'm worried about Jade, Dana.
I am. Are they letting Jade do interviews? I don't know. I have not seen Jade on anybody's channels. I've seen Boyd, I've seen Elgin, I've seen obviously
Yeah.
Donna. I've seen
Sometimes the actor doesn't want to. I think Ian Bailey, who plays Jim, you don't see him because I don't think the actor wants to. Is what I heard.
Yeah, I think wasn't Liz saying last night, I may correct me if I'm wrong, about how some of these actors there may not be as seasoned. I don't even know if I want to use that word, but they're not used to kind of the press and stuff like that. So maybe there's not as many of them pushing for the Comic-Cons. I'm trying to remember. I think she said something along them lines last night.
Yeah, and availability could play into it as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have to see. Julie said she was in talks with the actor plays Jade from an interview. Okay, well that's cool. I mean, I hope they get them out there. And I know that the actress that plays Julie in the TV show has been out there on some things. She seems to be getting out there a little. Actually, we've seen her since season 1 put out interviews and stuff, right?
yes.
For season 2. I know she's very active with kind of being out there in press. Like I said, because I watched that interview. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, because with AI and stuff nowadays, but no, I'm pretty sure because I put it in the Discord, and it was actually pretty interesting to see how she talked about sort of how she has, gets to be a part of different scenes with different actors, and how these different actors have their different methods of preparing for scenes and things like that. So hopefully they'll let a lot of the other cast kind of come out and do things.
That was a good interview. So if you put it in your Discord, everybody should. If you haven't watched it, go check that out.
Yeah, I popped it in the Discord after I watched it because it was like from a day ago or just today or something. It was a very recent interview. That I thought was interesting, and I'm sorry. Is it the actress name Hannah? I'm sorry, I can't remember. Y'all know I'm horrible with names.
Yes.
Oh, I got it right. Holy shit, that was a shot in the dark. But I want to say, where did I put it? I'm trying to think of where I put it.
You win a prize.
Right. No, wait, did I put it in From stuff? Yeah, I put it in the From general channel for you guys. And it was from Customatic TV. So that is what I watched today from Miss Hannah. And again, it was a pretty cool, interesting interview to hear from her. And I think it talked a little bit about her, how she does like horror as the genre, and the things that she learned about herself after playing the character, and how she kind of pulls for the character. So if you're interested in those kind of things, yeah, it was really cool to see.
I thought it was cool in that interview, which, I don't have a opinion myself, but I've heard a lot of people talk about her screams, how they think they're fake or don't like them or something like that. And in that interview, she was like, that's one of my favorite things about me.
Right. They told me to scream, so I just started screaming. She was like, yeah, there was no prep. It's just all scream. I was like, oh, you go, girl. But there's some interesting bits out there. And it is what it is. Look, we will proceed forward regardless. Because I still enjoy the show. Look, we've gone 2 seasons without being able to have interviews ourselves personally. And it hasn't dampened our fun. So we'll continue to have fun, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more interviews in the future from Mr. Doug or the rest of the cast that is willing to hang out with us.
Yeah, we'll have to see what strings I can pull.
Dun, 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 dun.
You never know. Dana's got the magic, folks. Always got the magic at the ready.
She's magic.
Mm-hmm. See, Harold said he's most excited for us to see episode 2. And I'm most excited as well. I mean, I was excited about episode 1 and what it left me hanging with emotionally and whatever the case may be. again, I don't think I can say it enough. This episode 1 set up to me for the season. It set up to where a lot of our characters are at and what they're about to have to kind of deal with, which just makes for a great season. And then just knowing that, like, we're kind of left on this cliffhanger of, again, I'm assuming that she's killing the pastor. And what is that going to lead? Like, she's going to gain sympathy from that. They're going to, of course, Tabitha's already kind of confided or comforting her and stuff like that. So this character slipping into the group, and what sort of mischief and chaos is she going to cause amongst them? I mean, I'm literally waiting for her to grab one of these talismans while somebody's not looking, just to let the monsters in at the right moment, just to fuck with certain characters. Not just any moment where everybody's going to be caught off guard, but a particular moment that has some meaning to it. Whether it's to save her own ass, like maybe they're starting to catch on to her, so somehow, the monsters get let in and now they're distracted or something like that. Like, because I know we see a scene, with her outside with Kenny in the trailer, and they're kind of outside getting ready to, and I thought that was going to be like where we see them kind of inside there, but apparently they're going to be possibly going back into the, the clinic / school, possibly in the future. So I'm curious, is she staying at the clinic, or it just so happens that she just ends up coming back to the clinic a couple times this season, just again, because I don't know, she's going to be outside with the monsters and Kenny, so that's going to be interesting to see, right? Like, there was that one scene.
Yeah, and she's in the house with Sarah, so she's going to get around, and it looks like hopefully this is not a spoiler, but it's in promotional photos that they released, that it looks like she's in the diner and at one point in the bar.
Right. So she's infiltrated her way, or he has infiltrated her way in to the town seemingly pretty well, right? I mean, for the most part, he's got a pretty good cover story. Until, like, maybe not Kenny, but Victor or somebody that may know something reveals, like, hey, this is a sus character, or they just happen to catch her off guard in some manner. She's pretty well infiltrated. I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody is questioning anything. Is her way in? Well, I don't know, how are we referring, because we know it's the man in yellow, which, again, is it even a man to begin with? Similar to the boy in white, and how Sarah said, well, he's not, I don't think he's a boy at all. Baby Clay, I know you've been talking about the boy in white a little bit more. That ties in, right? Like, is he even a man at all? Like, even we're saying the man in yellow because we see him that way, but what is he?
Right.
His, her, it. I mean, I don't know what to refer to it as at this point. And it is a it. I mean, because even they refer to it in a couple times as it. If it is the big bad that was talking to Sarah, she said it's laughing at us.
I did, one of the Boyd or Harold interviews, he did slip, and I think it was a slip. He did say evil entity. So maybe it is the best way to describe it.
I know, because it's going to get confusing, particularly this first episode and going through the season, now that we have seen it shift into from a male to a female and such a dramatic character shift. It's going to get confusing, possibly, in how we're describing things, but fun nonetheless. But I'm curious to see how they're going to go with the season. What other bits that they're going to give us. Oh, and Vic put a poll in the Discord, who is going to die this season. So if you guys have not joined the Discord, definitely join the Fever Dream, because there's all sorts of bits going to be popping off for you guys.
Yes, and make sure you become a member, because we are going to have the first members only Fever After Dark this Friday. And you got to be a member.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've had one.
And you have to be a member.
Yeah, we did it. We did a few during Fallout, and it's been a minute. But thanks to Mr. Doug, the man in yellow, and some past bits, I think it was. And we get all of the cheek meat, Dana, and we was 2 shots or half a fucking camera shot down away from seeing all the bits.
Right. So remember, you gotta be a member to come hang out for the After Dark. And it's open panel for all members. So if you're a member and you come in, you're allowed to come on panel.
Oh yeah, and that's where we'll get to again, I've got some Sarah bits, some Randall bits, because mostly probably from this episode, because I ain't gonna lie, man, that it's for the ladies or the men, depending on, your preference. But Randall has definitely caught my eye this season. Look, it's not just the scar. Okay, we talked about it. Did we talk about it last season, Dana? Like, oh, the scar is going to do him good, or he's going to have the scar now.
Yep.
But boy, let me tell you,
right. I was
that door like, popped. Look, he popped that door, Dana. I was like, oh,
I did. I was like, Mr. Randall, where'd you come from?
But I'm gonna clip some bits so we can really see the muscles in action, along with some Sarah bits. Possibly some Jim and Tabitha bits, and a whole lot of Colony House.
He just got like I don't know. He went up a notch.
Right, a Scarface, right? I mean, he's just, what can I say? Randall, look, he might become my favorite over Jade. We might need to get a Randall cameo. We're gonna have to request some Randall.
Right, I never wanted to become a damsel in distress more.
OMG.
Mr. Randall, I need some help, Mr. Randall.
Look, Jade could talk to me all day long. I would love to listen to Jade all day long, but Randall, boy, can he just sit there and with an axe and start chopping wood or something?
I don't know, Scarlett. I think we got a new night knocker.
Oh, please, God, yes. We need a new night knocker.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Becky.
James, you know what you signed up for. You know what you signed up for. It comes with the contract.
Oh, well, no worries, hon. Again, we're gonna hang out Friday night before the members only stream. That's also going to be open panel for you guys to come in and talk your theories, because Monday nights we do the other content creator panels, and tonight was kind of pop up. So I want to make sure you guys have a chance if you want to come hang out on panel with us. So we'll have a normal 3-hour-ish stream Friday night, and then we'll go into the Fever After Dark, where I'll have more intimate clips and things that we can talk about. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, we got a lot of bits, and boy, like I said, I'm going to have to go back and get some other Randall clips, because now that I'm paying more attention, Dana, to the bits, for the muscle bits.
The muscle.
Look, there's a fine line between love and hate, and I loved to hate him last season, but now I love to watch him this season.
Pretty much.
He grabbed that. He was quick, Dana. Look, he outdid Boyd. He was like, Boyd's here trying to figure it out. He's like, get the winch. And Boyd's like, bring it. Like, oh my God. All the men started working together. I was like, oh, Dana. We're gonna have to have Fever After Dark. Coming in with the 5 gifted memberships. Who received them? I gotta go over to my
I tried West of Westeros. I tried.
Oh no, he didn't get it. Oh no.
I tried.
Oh no. But who did get it? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get over to YouTube real quick to see who was the lucky winners. Did you get one, Susie? Oh, MPK, you got one too? Nice. I'm almost there. Oh no, I'm on my phone trying to get. Oh my God, I can't click buttons fast enough on my phone, Dana. I'm not as good as you on the phone. All the volume. See who were the lucky recipients. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at one of them.
I know. I know exactly what you
perfect. Are. It's so perfect. But congratulations, Susie, MPK, Gore 66, Lord Raptor Jesus, and Bubba Fett. We got I got Susie. Yeah, congratulations, you guys, on your lucky gifted membership, and in honor of that, we got bits.
Welcome to the fever dream. Fever You're on fire. Welcome to the burning desire. I said fever. Join the party. We're burning all through the night.
Hey, congratulations, everyone. Congratulations, Lord Raptor Jesus, on your gifted membership from Miss Dana, the Witch's Brew. I hope you enjoy.
Well, are you ready?
Love
Are
you
you
guys.
ready? West of Westeros. I will try one more time. Are you ready? I can't promise anything.
Will you get it? Will you get it? Oh, he put his pot down. I know.
I'm waiting for him to respond if he's ready.
Is you
Or
ready?
they're ready.
My fingers ain't fast enough. Oh no. He's ready. I think he's ready. Maybe. It's all the fever. Indeed. It is. Congratulations to everyone. What's right? Well, actually, I don't even think he's in the chat, but I think he must at least be hanging out, right? Holy shit. You watching Raptor? No, I'm just kidding. No, he did get one. It's funny, right?
Right? What are you ready? I'm gonna try one more time for you, West of Westeros. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
He's ready. It is. It's like the after hours. We tend to have fun around here.
Okay. Did he get it?
I gotta go back.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, damn it. No, we can't get anything to work right tonight, Dana.
I can't pick them. I can't
It
pick
won't.
them.
Just pick them. It's weird how it actually gives them out. I don't know the fullness of it. Oh, that is a good question. Well, yeah, I would maybe. I think he does. Wait. That is a very good question.
All right,
Let's
y'all
see
about
who the
to
other
call it a night.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night,
y'all for having
baby.
me on, though. No problem.
Thank
See
you.
y'all next time.
Have a good night,
Yes,
hon.
we'll see you Friday.
Y'all too.
I'll see you later, man. Be cool.
Have a good night.
Vic, if you could put up in how to do the gifting, like how to turn on the gifting, because I forget how to do it. And if you didn't have it turned on, I will try one more time just for you after you turn on your gifting.
It won't break as we'll get it. I clicked the green button up top right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because they slightly changed it, didn't they? Like you have to click a thing and go into it. Used to be easy. Now, last time I looked at it, they did a whole bit where it frustrated you. It should come up as an option to click it on. Was it at the top or the bottom? I can't remember if it's down there by the money thingy, the little cash thing. I can't remember where it is that you have to click on it again. I swear they changed it. Click the.
I wish YouTube would let you pick.
What's up? What's up? We've been hanging around. How you doing? MG, welcome. Yeah, they changed it, didn't they? It used to be easy. I remember when we first started over there on Jeremy's, it was easy to click it. And then I remember last time I went to go look, it was like you had to do a whole bit. It wasn't as easy as it used to be, which is kind of rigor, right, Dana? Like, what the fuck are they doing?
It is. It's also a fucking rigor that they don't let you choose if you want to give a membership to somebody specific. I don't like that, YouTube. YouTube, you're on my list.
Well, we about to rant between YouTube and MGM. Oh,
right?
fuck.
Like YouTube's on my list, MGM is on my list. Like these guys are really
they fucking with our shenanigans and fun here, man.
Right. Oh, and I'm sorry, James, I love you, but we have a petition going on right now for James. So if you have not signed the petition to tell YouTube to fix what they did. Please.
Yeah, there should be a post on me and Dana's YouTube page under the post with a link for you guys.
Yes, they need
unless you have it. I don't have it handy.
I have it. YouTube needs to fix what they broke. Sorry, James.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right. Get a little teary-eyed about it all.
Because we love you, James.
All the love being
you got
shown.
A lot of support out there in your fandom.
Yes. So a petition was started, and we need signatures. So if you love James and you don't like what they did to him, please, that is the link for the petition. give it a sign, and we'd appreciate it.
Oh, he says I figured it out.
Did
Awesome.
Turned
you?
it on.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Roll the dice.
Gosh, I gotta get my YouTube up and go. Oh God, it's so. Oh, it's like
Are you ready?
it's exciting.
Once I see a yes in the chat, I'm going to click the button.
Oh my goodness, and you've been chatting and stuff, so it should pick you up as a person of interest to the channel. You
Are
have
you
to
ready,
go to
Wes?
your channel, click join, then the top 3 buttons. Oh, he figured it out. There you
Right.
Oh, okay.
Tell me yes, and I'm going to hit the button.
Well, it's so anticipation's killing
Right?
me.
Right? Are you ready, West?
Who's gonna get it? I can't look, but I'm looking.
Right? I'm just waiting for him to put yes in the chat. It's like there we go. Okay, here we go. One more time.
It's coming. My 10 fingers ready. It's there. Where's who got it?
I don't know.
Oh, he got it! Holy shit, it worked! How
There you
about
go.
that shit?
Did it really? Did it
Yeah,
really?
it did. That's crazy. I think it's collective magic, Dana.
Wow.
Right? I'm a witch for a reason.
You're magic.
And I believed in you, Dana. It worked. That's crazy. You guys saw it here.
Right?
That's actually pretty fucking wild. Holy shit.
Now you
Awesome.
have to make sure that you show up
Yay.
Friday night to Fever After Dark. It's late, but we get a little spicy. We have a little fun. We get to take our shoes off, so to speak.
And we pretty much roll right from Friday Night Fever into it. So we'll go about 3 hours on Friday Night Fever, end it, and then we'll start around midnight East Coast time. And we start those shenanigans. It's fun.
Yes.
And that's crazy. I know. I can't even believe it, but I do believe it.
There we go.
Can you keep your socks on? That's up to you.
Right?
Yeah, we don't judge. Just don't turn your
Nope.
camera on. That's all we ask. Unless it's very nice, in which case, chest up. YouTube standards, not ours.
Right? But that's great. That's hilarious that he got it.
Oh, no,
That's
that's
great.
kind of crazy. It was fun. It's a great way to get ready to end the night, because I know we've been going a little over 3 hours. And again, this was mostly tonight was for Mr. Doug. He wanted to come hang out with everyone, and so we wanted to hang out with him as well with you guys. And again, we'll be back Friday night for Friday Night Fever and Fever After Dark, where we will continue to dive into this episode. I've got some clips I'm working on, things like the scene with Sophia at the end talking to the pastor or the preacher. How are we calling him? Is it pastor or the preacher? I forgot.
I'm not too sure.
But the way she was kind of over him in the clinic, it's very reminiscent of Sarah. So I'm going to put those bits together for some fun things to talk about, along with hopefully some other similarities maybe I see, or who knows, just the fact that the Man in Yellow had some good lines in there. So we'll kind of dive into that and let you guys join us on panel Friday night to tell us your thoughts and theories so far from episode 1 going forward. And we just dive into more fun and shenanigans. And then I'll get all the extra spicy bits for the after hours. Here we go. Again, all the way back to season 1, folks. Colony House was hopping up and down. I got to get a lot of stickers. We need a lot of stickers, Dana. It showed bits then, too, if I remember correctly. I think top bits. Possibly bottom bits. I can't remember if we got to see all the marbles. Yeah, we'll find out on Friday or Fever After Dark.
We sure will.
A lot of happy face stickers and moon stickers. And CapCut will be used, Dana.
Right? All the editing tools.
Who knows? Maybe even a alabaster dragon lady might show up, and Jasmine. She had some good tongue action. Right? So, and if you guys have any other thoughts for some good scenes that you guys want to go over, all of our members for the Fever After Dark, let us know in the Discord or in the comments after. Let me know like an episode, a timestamp, or at least a little bit about the scene, so that way I can kind of get a little clip of it and we can talk all about it.
Yes, ma'am.
That is, and then what else do you guys have going on? I know James, everybody's joining James's Discord because YouTube sucks.
Yes, we're packing his Discord. We're packing his Discord.
We're gonna make him hang out in Discord and like do trivia games or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I appreciate it all, guys, and signing the petition and all of that. Much appreciated.
We're fighting. We're going to fight, James. You got army behind you now.
Right? They have awoken the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
They have. They messed with the Dark Lord. You don't mess with the Dark Lord.
Uh-oh. Shit.
Not at all.
What else you got going on, Dave? I know we're after Friday, Saturday night, we're going to be hanging out, get ready for the episode.
Yep, we will be doing a pregame on Saturday night on my channel, and we will react to the episode live like we did last week and have some fun. And then we will get ready for our roundtable for Monday night. And as of right now, we have Mr. JH himself joining us. We have Lizzie coming back, and I'm just waiting for one more confirmation for the roundtable discussion. But we are going to have Mr. JH, who's always a blast.
Oh, yeah. I love a soundboard.
I do, too. And now he's got his milkman hat. Like, he's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
He's too much.
And fun times will be had by all.
Yes.
But I think that's all we have for this evening. And again, I don't know if we'll be back Wednesday or Thursday night. You guys, you just never know what might pop off. So always make sure you guys are subscribed, click the bell for notifications, join the Discords, all the good bits. That way you don't miss out. But until next time, which is probably going to be Friday night, you guys, we love you. You stay safe out there. And can't wait until the next one where we get to dive into some more bits and see what you guys think in the chat. I cannot wait till Friday night. I want to really hear what you guys think. I can't wait to see how many of you guys show up. Come on with us, because we are in for quite a season, it looks like. And the theory crafting is about to get crazier than it has ever been, Dana.
It really is.
Again, thank you guys, Dana, James, Baby Clay, and of course, Mr. Doug himself for joining us tonight.
I hear you, Green Spider. That probably was it. The whale thing. that was my April Fool's.
Damn it. And see, and then we ask the questions of Doug, and they come bringing down the hammer. Damn it, James. We just asked you and say too much.
I swear, man, the suspense when he said that. I mean, it was like time froze.
I know,
because I didn't
just feel the air. Like I was trying to change the mood and shit. I was trying to get his back, but I was heartbroken.
Yeah, you could tell he was upset too, you know, and it bothered him. So that sucks. I hate it for him.
Oh no,
that was so they did him dirty.
Not fair.
Nope.
But love all you guys.
That's right. You guys stay safe out there. Get your talismans out, because you never know what else is creeping around the corner. As hell, with Dana at this rate, we need all the magic.
Fuck yeah.
And a little bit more than talismans now with Sophia, aka Man Yellow, popping around. You might just want to we break out a salt circle. I didn't start throwing salt at her. I don't fucking know, something. But you guys stay safe out there. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye guys.
The man in yellow, quite a calm and violent fellow. with the stick, the dress and the cake.